We had Pixel's nuts chopped.
Oh, finally?
Yeah.
Did they decide to do anything about the tail?
Oh, I didn't mention anything. I'm assuming that Laura didn't even end up mentioning anything to him. But, yeah. Right.
I know it.
Pixel's tail.
Stop.
Did you want Pixel to not have a tail?
No. Pixel, the tip of Pixel's tail is like.
They talked about getting it fixed.
We talked about whether they could literally just pop, kind of straighten it, like if it was a dislocation kind of thing, or however to straighten it, or if it was even worth it. Like we had talked about asking the same thing, like while he was under, can you just do it?
Is it right
and then
here?
Fuck it.
We should just walk from.
But I don't think Elizabeth even remembered to ask.
Huh?
What color is it?
It'll be okay.
What color is it?
It's the middle.
The metal, dark, shiny.
Yeah.
Well, I've got like.
See, that would
7%
usually
left on my
be
phone.
my first action, but I don't.
Don't tell me your phone doesn't have a flashlight because it does.
It does.
I only have like 7%
My
on
phone's
my
dead.
battery, so yeah.
It's dead.
Mine's always dead.
You guys need.
I don't care for using it during D&D, so I don't care about having it.
No, but you need it for after D&D, don't you?
Not really.
Right, you gotta call a taxi.
Yeah, right?
And don't you need an alarm clock to get up?
Did you find it yet or no?
Nope.
Goose eats.
How
Take
the
this
hell
snack.
did this one go?
Is it in your shoes?
Nope. Checked
Sure.
twice already.
What size is it?
It's a D12.
It's this little metal one.
Here, I'll grab another cable.
Oh, got it.
You're awfully comfortable in that
Cool.
position.
It was under the thing behind the leg of the table.
Did you? Yeah, the fucking change of level where this comes in.
Mm.
Did you find any more under there? Because I have no doubt that there probably are.
Oh,
yeah,
probably.
I've got one missing out of my stuff. I think it's in my car.
I left that set that George gave me a while ago here at some point.
Here.
Oh, it's an Android. So
Is it USB-C?
No.
Okay.
it's an Android.
That's all I needed to know.
Android can use micros, or they can
Okay.
use the USB-C.
Oh.
Let me see your phone.
It's the other type. I just don't know
The
what to call it,
micro?
so I just
Micro USB?
Oh yeah, micro USB.
Okay. I didn't know that was called micro USB. So.
Yep.
I was just referred to it as Android.
Mine's an Android as well.
I don't have a long one. I got a shorty.
Yeah,
Same.
Mine's shorter than that.
I got a chubby.
I have a 6-foot USB-C, but thank you.
There you go. There you go. Now you can set up some work after. Yeah. Back page or whatever these kids these days use.
Wiggle?
And I got paid
Wiggle,
late
wiggle.
this week, so I haven't been able to get a new phone yet. But I did get my messenger to start working, so I mean,
Whatever. That's fine. I just want to have contact.
Mm.
Fuck it. Sucks, but not being able to like message and shit
I
like
had
that.
to try
I
the
saw
thing
that
like
thing with
50
barbecue
fucking
sauce on
times
my
before it
titties.
finally worked. It just kept popping up error.
You stop!
Error.
Stop. My computer!
And then eventually worked.
What? Just for like when you were trying to sign like
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
log in, start Messenger,
No, just log in.
Yeah, you're trying to
log
figure out
into
yourself.
Messenger.
hmm
Yeah.
Intriguing.
I'm assuming it was like shitty Wi-Fi and servers or something like that. 'cause-
Could be. It usually doesn't come up error at that point. It just says cannot connect. Okay. Anyway.
It did go for some. It works.
Hey, whatever. If it works, it works. Fuck it. All right. So waking up, packing all your stuff up, heading on to the Hag's Lair.
Yeah. Dispel detect magic side is up. Why do I keep going for dispel magic? I don't know.
There's a reason why.
Anti-magic cone. Oh damn it! I almost got Laura. Son of a bitch.
I think you actually got like halfway.
I know, but I want the full spray.
Both holes.
I want the full spray.
Ugh.
It's not as good when it's not the full spray, especially since she was aiming at George at the time. Just want to get that full double nostril right out.
Okay, you still missed the best one. When Daniel got me, when you weren't here, I was sitting here with my laptop, and I was looking this way. I tried to stop it, so instead all I did was spraying across the entire table of my laptop, and then like spit the rest out like in this corner right here. And I did so well to hold it too. That's why I took the drink. We made I forget what fucking joke we made at George's expense, and then Daniel, I held it in, and then Daniel just started like laugh, doing that where you should
And that set you off, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Out there.
Hey.
That's so
I
good.
wish it was soda.
No, there's no sugar in that sweet tea to stick my fucking keys. Like, I had concerns.
All right, so moving on. Less than an hour further up.
You didn't even touch the trash can.
We don't talk about it.
Well, I mean, at least he hasn't gotten as bad as Cody yet. He's not touching the trash can.
I was also trying not to aim for George's head, though.
Actually, the trash can's black. So.
I mean,
So was
All right.
Ashley.
No, shit! Really?
Cut
I
it!
mean,
Cut this out up there, please.
do what I
I
can.
realized that I'm racist.
Yeah, and it's
I'll
also
do what I
live.
can.
It's being live streamed.
Yeah, that's true.
God damn it,
That's
Jesse.
true.
This is the one.
How? Okay, so you're sure you're sober.
Yes.
I
You're sure
have
you
my
want to
doubt.
make that claim.
Yes.
Okay.
I literally woke up today and I grabbed my bowl and I was like, oh, wait. And put it back down.
Right, D&D. All right, so about less than an hour.
All right.
You end up just further ahead. You see just the very beginnings of the fog around one side of the wall before you actually see the opening itself.
Right. Okay, cool. I'm going to go ahead and shut off Detect Magic.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Didn't it happen to you a few times before you stopped?
Yeah,
Didn't we have to be like, why don't you stop looking?
Yeah,
at
I
it?
already went. Shame on me. All right.
But there's like 3 shame on you.
Yeah. No, I'm not done the third time.
Not yet.
How many spell slots did you lose?
Too fucking many.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
all right. So, coming around the corner,
Whatever, y'all survived it.
you can see the opening to the tunnel leading into the Hag's Lair.
So going in with light.
Mm.
Going in with light?
Look around.
Okay.
Thing change.
Torch. Anybody else with a torch, or were you just running off one torch?
I want 2 hands free.
That's what she said.
I need at least one hand free. So.
Not
Right,
surprised.
guys always have it easy.
All right. 2 fingers on the thumb, man. That's all.
I'm not a bowling ball.
You really got. Yep. Wow. I've never seen anyone cast synaptic static in real life before. Yeah. For a second there.
Now you're mimicking mom.
God.
Got one like a 6-pack. All right. So, heading on into the Hag's Lair.
First, gonna be looking around, make sure nothing's changed, nothing's moving.
All right. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh,
Bow out.
that's why I want 2 hands.
As soon as we walk in, I'm looking up at the shelf and going, hey, we're back again.
All right.
I do have an
You
arrow
happen to
knocked
see-
and a bow.
Only one appears to pull its
Do I
head
touch it?
back into
Ooh.
that opening that you had watched them go into several times.
Ooh. That 20.
Very nice.
Telepathically, I am going to tell both of them real fast that there is one in, like, the hole right now.
Well,
There's one
there goes that
goal.
perception check, so let's just start paranoid shooting shit. Like, can't act out of character. Why would you fucking say that? Well, after I get goddamn 20.
Because
It affects you too.
So you don't see any dolls anywhere. you do see, as everybody's walking in, Katsu's shadow is heading forward, like it's leaning forward. But the torch is to his side.
Oh, that's
If it's
disturbing.
going forward, I should be able to see it, right?
You would see your shadow, yeah.
If you're looking for it, but you're not. Okay.
It's a matter of noticing what's off.
Oh, fair enough.
So where do you see that dog?
In the cubby. The one that you
Well,
rested
he
your
didn't
head
say.
into.
That's what I'm asking.
Did you?
That's what
I
I'm
said,
asking.
like, I'm telepathically
Yeah, he's thinking
blindfolded, I'm not.
douchebag.
Gotcha,
Because then
gotcha,
why would
gotcha.
you like trigger her paranoia after she got
Right.
fucking
Right,
Get on
right.
your back.
No,
So
also.
I don't see it. You see it? Where the fuck do you see it?
The cubby that you stuck your head into.
I'm not doing that again, Doc. That's on you.
It's not going, pulling its head back into there.
What makes you think I'm going to do it again?
Because we've got magical items out of them before.
Kind of telling you guys so you wouldn't stick your head in there again.
Hey, Gyatso, you
Yeah,
haven't had a turn.
Yeah, you haven't done it yet. And you can see them.
Yeah, right? See if they
are
got
quite
anything up there.
friendly. Fine.
Well, he's gonna. Remember, we have to stand on a chair and then hold someone else, so he's gonna have to stand on someone. He's too short for.
About how much do you weigh?
42 pounds.
I'm going to pick him up.
Aren't you
hold me in
like
your
a
hand.
little itty bitty
Easy enough.
elf? Like Winky?
Yeah, and I'm stronger than you.
Easy enough. I mean,
Are you?
he's a monk. He has impeccable balance.
Right.
So it doesn't matter how wobbly your hands, how wobbly your arms.
Mhm.
You've got to, for an elf and a wizard, you actually have a decent strength.
Yeah.
So you're not as wobbly as other people would be. So yeah, putting your hands out, giving him a boost up. You can do a quick, just pick him up by the bottoms of his feet. You balance without any problem whatsoever. It's a fairly stable base.
I'll stick my head in there and look around.
All right.
Just before, like, I'm going to stare daggers at the two of them, like, fuck you guys.
You're sticking the torch in there with you?
Is there room to do it without burning my face off?
Barely. You can stick the torch in first and then just kind of like peek your head in after.
Okay.
I don't see why his hair.
Definitely.
Do I see him Do I see him trying to figure this out?
Please
All right, cool.
don't.
I'm going to go ahead and start pulling the torch of my own out. I'm going to light it before he... I'm going to try to light it before he gets it.
Aren't you holding him?
While I'm standing on your
Oh,
hands?
shit, that's right. I
Can
can't.
you not?
Hey, asshole!
Yeah.
I'll shoot you.
Okay, I'm going to stick the torch in and look.
I shoot. I said out loud.
We also did say, Gyatso, you should look in there. That's
But
on
he doesn't
us.
have to use the torch. I looked in there without.
He
any
has no
light.
choice. He doesn't have any dark vision.
But I looked in there without light or anything.
You have dark vision.
If something grabs your face, it grabs your face. It's not a big cubby.
You don't get to make that choice. This is his character.
That's a good point.
And if you want to try to shoot him, you can try to shoot him for doing something that you told him to do.
If I try and shoot him
It's
in
up
the
to you.
ankle, I'm going to shoot Doc in the face.
Oh, and then you're going to have two people who are very pissed off at you because I'm going to be mad that you shot me. And he's going to be mad that you caused me to drop him.
I mean, I've already shot you once. Should we already be over that hump by now?
Yeah. I didn't know that you were the one that shot me.
Oh, no.
All right,
No.
so
You wouldn't have realized.
Sticking the
you were
torch
trying
in
to
first,
pull my arrow
face
out.
in afterwards. Nothing in there.
Okay.
Completely empty.
It's empty. It all went somewhere else. Fuck these guys. I'm gonna hop
Okay.
down.
Cool.
Okay.
Neat.
So, at some point, we're gonna have to deal with the fact that your shadow's really fucking weird, and I don't trust you.
In game?
Yeah,
What's wrong with his shadow?
it's been weird.
It's been... Okay, how would you define weird?
Um,
We see a lot of weird shit on the daily.
Now
So,
I have to
like-
start looking at my shadow.
it moves when he's not, things like that.
Yeah, that's how
Or
sometimes...
doesn't move when he moves.
Okay, that's more concerning. Hey, Gyatso, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I was rocked in 200 years. Sent 200 years.
Rocked?
Rocked. I was trying to say rocked, but now I'm switching to that. I was sent like 200 years through time, so it could just be lagging. I don't know. You're the magic guy.
Okay.
Anyway,
Now that I know about this,
Cage,
The-
shit.
Cage,
Can't.
Cage,
the-
I
Cage.
knew it before. Yeah, Katie, we're gonna go ahead and just do that and just get the fuck out.
Okay.
Don't like place cage.
You almost did get a third time.
Yeah, well, I stopped myself before you said something. So
I realized you stopped yourself. I was just still in the process of like doing it. But...
yeah, I get it. Sometimes it takes you a minute. Yeah, your shadow's not the only thing that fucking lives around here.
I know.
Look,
I'm sorry, I made
DM's got to try what DM can try. Okay, you know.
Yeah, right.
It would have been really funny right on the heels of "Fool Me Once, Fool Me Twice" nonsense.
Oh,
I know what
that would have been fucking golden on
I
the
know
heels of
what
that
I'm
one.
going. No, twice.
That would have been fucking gold.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
we're not the type to hold it over you though, so it's okay to have you.
That's a lie. That's a
You know,
lie.
5 sessions.
I've heard
fine now.
Cody tell the truth more often.
Oh,
That's just hurtful.
it is. That's low.
Words hurt.
Yeah, they do. Words do hurt.
That's a big circle of friendship. I
That's
give you
lower than the-
pizza and hamburgers. I don't even eat hamburgers.
And Cody gives people yeast infections.
I do eat yeast though.
And dead children.
Ooh, I can't.
No,
I almost
she
said it.
wants
I
black
almost said it on.
children.
I almost said it on camera, and then like it would have been way worse than what he said.
What?
So would you?
Nothing.
We would call it.
All right.
Right now.
All right.
Watch this be the one
More of,
live
a,
stream.
more of a rye.
Watch
Right?
this be the one live stream he actually watches, and like after session he just calls me. And
Yeah.
as soon as we walk outside,
Let's call Mark first.
They'll call. Yeah.
If I hear weird incel noises coming from the office at like 2 in the morning.
oh,
Ouch.
God damn.
We gotta stop letting Cody infect Mark with like incel noises.
Oh, don't worry. When this is all going south, he is taking a relationship advice from Cody. I
You
have no
never
idea.
take
I have
relationship
no
advice
idea
from Cody.
why things went south.
You never take relationship advice from
No
Cody.
idea why things went south.
No, what? You never do that. Never. What?
I
I'm
know.
not gonna say it.
I know. It was so bad.
I was gonna try to quote Tropic Thunder, but I can't. That is absolutely ableist, and I can't use it, even though it's a quote.
Yeah, you never
I
go
can't.
full.
Yeah, I can't do it.
You never
Can't do
go
it.
full Cooper.
You never go full Cooper. Thank you. There you go. That works.
Synonyms.
Yeah. Synonyms.
Synonyms.
one of my
Niminim.
one of my
Niminim.
favorite things
With
to
nippin' nuts.
The rats of Niminim.
Nippin' with nippin' nuts.
Nimoy.
More.
one of my favorite things to say to Cody by this point has become I might be the younger brother, but I'm the one that actually has a stable relationship.
Oh, wee!
But also with a minor.
Yo,
Technically.
Okay,
But
Cody.
technically,
Dude,
mine
that's
is
a
minor.
that's a
Mine's
very
legal.
No, it's not. We've had this conversation. Just because you have the option to opt out of being labeled a sex offender by court, but not guaranteed, does not make it legal.
True.
That's all those laws do.
True.
And also, at one point, did we address that legality is not necessarily being ethical?
That's true. Just because it's legal doesn't make it moral.
Morally speaking,
But-
I will never
but
date anyone younger. than 2
Technically,
years.
if we really want to get nitpicky about it, she's the one who's breaking the law because he's the one who's mentally handicapped.
Is it just like the minor thing balances
Technically,
out?
they actually are.
No, I was talking about you being mentally handicapped.
I know. It's sad because they actually are mentally handicapped.
That's like can true drunk people rape each other?
Hey, Moss never watches this, right?
They do. What?
We haven't said anything bad about Moss.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe
Only about Cody
their
and Jesse.
choices. We questioned their
And unfortunately,
choices.
Ashley.
Yeah. That one was in jest, though bad taste.
Yeah.
Very bad taste.
But she also
There
apparently has
are situations
Yeah.
where it's understandable that it is a joke, but it's also a very bad taste joke. Now, Cody, on the other hand, we can make fun of him all the fuck we want.
He doesn't have any taste left anyway.
How would you?
I think the only taste he has left is like licking the inside of a bus station toilet.
I already have one sister-in-law. I don't need another.
I mean, maybe then he could buy a phone.
I think he has a phone.
Mm-hmm.
I think the phone number he keeps.
Does he actually have a phone?
I think the phone number he's trying to get people to call is not Ashley's.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
I didn't know that.
He's just got.
Now I don't know
Oh,
if
shit.
Sugar Mama bought it for him, but okay, what Cody said versus reality.
Right. There's a subtle difference behind that.
What
Why am I making that
Cody
face?
said.
I guarantee you that's not the only
Finally
thing that he's
realized what
tasting.
that does.
Laura.
That's not the only thing he can still taste.
Laura.
No, I
What
guarantee
Cody
you that's
said
not the
and
only
did
thing
with
he's
him
tasting.
walking on the
Oh.
board and going to the food store next
Yeah.
door.
Yeah.
That's what
I'm
most
not
of us
saying
do.
that one any further on camera. How's that?
That's why I texted it.
Yeah, well aware.
I did not put it in. I didn't put
Why?
it. I did not.
All right.
You're-
So, heading back to the room with the cage, I'm assuming, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. As you enter the hag's room behind the dark curtains, bringing the torch inside, you can see that the torch now lights up nearly the entire room. There still seem to be some stubborn, inky black shadows in the corners and underneath some of the furniture, but for the most part, it seems that whatever pervasive darkness was in this space here has, for the most part, started to loosen up its hold. So, you see in front of you, same cage.
All right.
Here we go again.
So I'm gonna put the portable hole on the wall.
Okay, do that.
You need to leave your bag of holding outside if you're gonna come in.
I'll say.
I'd rather say it than assume that you do it, because I can't assume everyone's saying it.
But you're gonna yell
Just-
about his quiver.
Yeah, just in case
Yeah,
I
yeah,
walk
your
in there, I'm
quiver too.
taking my quiver off.
You're sitting them on, what, like the dresser or something?
Yeah.
Okay, and then we're gonna carefully move everything out. And once everything's moved out, I'll fold it back up, and then I'll open it up on the floor. You know, Hazel's like, "Yo, go ahead and grab your stuff, and like just stay clear." And I will cast Stone Shape to make a.
Did we want to do the lock unlock thing to make sure with the magic and stuff?
Well, it's constantly done it. I'm not gonna. It's not locked still.
Mhm.
So
Okay, I'm just making sure.
no, I got you. No,
Before we try and do it like locked and it's magically locked and we can't do anything.
right? No, it's not magically locked anymore. And so, like, I want to use Stone Shape to make a ramp, quick ramp to where it would end up. It's up at a very sharp angle to where it would be easily. I'm talking as close to a 90-degree angle as I possibly can get it.
As in lifting the stone under the cage up into the air at an angle?
At an angle, yes.
Angled towards.
Angle towards the portable hole.
Yeah.
Right.
With details.
Okay.
Okay. Taking the time. Casting Stone Shape.
Mhm.
The stone on either side and in front of the cage starts to lift up. The stone directly underneath the cage
Mhm.
is unaffected by the spell.
Okay. I'll drop the spell. Just for reference. Like, area of effect.
If
for-
you dispel magic, can you
It doesn't work that way.
I
Stone
don't
shape's
know.
a 5-foot area. I don't know about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Would it be the magical room?
Well, it just seems like the floor is simply too. It's just too heavy on the floor itself. Like not even magic can, like, because stone shape is a slow magic. Right. It takes time to do something like that. It's not instantaneous. It's like wham. It doesn't work that way. So everyone get on the same side of the room as I'm on,
Okay.
and on the other side of the room where none of my things are. I'll make that clear. I want to do this in a way where it's not going to catch you.
You've moved all of your stuff to this end of the room, away from the cage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm gonna pick up. Before I do, I am gonna pick up the portable hole first, and then center it.
And did you guys pick your stuff back up off of the dresser?
Do I see him trying to push his desk across the room?
He's not moving all of it on his own. If you're helping him, then yes, you would have noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't leave it on the desk anyway. As soon as we were done moving stuff out of the office, it would be back on my person. I'm not gonna leave it floating around. What'd you do with your quiver, bud?
It's on my back now.
There we go.
So, and I'm gonna cast Erupting Earth. I can't cast it. No, I can cast it. The problem is that I'm trying to catch it to. How big is the room again?
20 by 20, if I remember right.
20 by 20.
Yeah, 20 wide, 20 deep. I want to say it was 10 foot tall, maybe 15 foot tall. I don't remember 100%, but
I'm gonna try to, because it's a 20-foot radius for. Well, no, sorry, 20-foot cube.
20-foot cube.
Centered on that point. So I'm trying to catch the very bare edge of it on that while leaving our side of the room untouched.
I've got 10 by 10.
Was it a 10 by 10?
If that's the case, I can't even cast it in this room.
Was that how big it was for the dark hag's room? Part of me wants to say it was slightly bigger than that, but I could be remembering wrong. It's been a minute.
Illusion area
It's been a
was
minute,
2
and I don't
foot
have my
by 2
paperwork
foot.
with
The
me for
cage
this.
was 3 foot by 5 foot by 5 foot. I got a 10 by 10.
If it's 10 by 10, then
10 by 10 sounds close enough.
Unless that was what I had for the light that I could see in the room. So if you think it's a 20 by 20, maybe
that
that's what we
actually
did.
makes more sense.
That
Maybe
would
because
make
maybe
sense.
that's what we did. Maybe I did how much I could see.
That would make more sense because
That's
it
a
was
20 by 20.
half the
Because I had Art follow me around so I could look at the
right.
light. So it was
Well,
probably
it would have only been a 10-foot radius because
Yeah,
the
so
dim
that's
would have been
probably-
gone at that point. So yeah, it would have been a 10-foot radius.
All right. Well, first
So
thing
that
I'm-
would make sense. Yeah.
So I mean, first thing I'm going to do, because it's 10 foot.
No, like the room would have been 20 by 20.
The room's 20 by 20.
Yeah. If
Right.
but when,
if
the,
she's
when the dark spell
yeah.
was active, it
Yeah,
was,
you can only see.
you
10
can only
by
see a small portion of it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, instead of erupting earth, I'm going to start with earth tremor.
Okay.
First level spell.
What does Earth Tremor do?
That one is.
I don't have that one memorized.
You cause a tremor in the ground in a 10-foot radius. Each creature other than you in that area must make a dex saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes 1d6 bludgeoning. It is knocked prone. If the ground in that area is loose earth or stone, it becomes difficult terrain until cleared.
It is stone.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to try to center it to where it's just on the edge and away from us. It's 10-foot radius. Should be plenty of room for something like that.
Draw me a mental picture on this one. Cage, like we're doing vertical here. Like this is the floor.
Okay.
Cage.
Mm-hmm.
Here's where you guys are.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you centering the spell? Just to catch the front lip of it, or are you trying to catch the whole thing?
I'm trying to catch the whole thing of the cage itself while leaving us completely unaffected.
And it's a 10-foot radius?
Yeah.
Oh, the 10-foot radius.
So it would be
20 feet.
centered directly at the back end of the cage itself.
Right.
To keep it away from us.
Okay. Okay. All right. Taking the time to cast the spell, Earth Tremors,
Mm-hmm.
and you feel a deep rumbling as you watch as the stone itself cracks and fractures in almost a wave-like roll that spills halfway up the wall,
Mm-hmm.
and a cloud of dust washes in your direction. As the dust clears, you can see rubble all over the whole entire area. Half the wall has collapsed across part of the cage and around the sides.
We can't see the cage,
You can see the cage there.
but the wall's collapsed.
The wall has collapsed behind it, yes, over a portion. About half of the cage is covered in rubble, and it's kind of comes out at an angle, almost as if like avalanche-like. You've seen them, actually, very similar to the way that the glyphs exploded in the tunnel. And from that point, the whole entire rest of it, like you can see that the ground around the whole entire cage is all fractured and large jumbled stones.
But does it appear the cage is moved?
Hard to tell, but from what you can see, does not appear to.
Cool. Nobody move. I'm going to try something a little bit stronger. And targeting the back of it again, I will cast Erupting Earth.
Okay. Go ahead and read that one again for me, too.
It's a 20-foot cube. It's just a stronger version of Earth Tremor.
Technically, couldn't we use stone shape to lower the ground in front of it and then slope it down
Okay,
instead?
so the wall's already collapsing. We're going to do something worse. You do something that's basically the size of the room.
Yeah, a fountain of churned earth and stone erupts in a 20-foot cube centered on that point. The creature in that area must make a dex saving throw. Creature takes 3d12 bludgeoning on a failed, half is on a success. Additionally, the ground in that area becomes difficult terrain until cleared away. Each 5-foot square portion of the area requires at least 1 minute to clear by hand.
Look, as a human, I know I'm going to die, but I really don't want to be like
You can get out of the room
killed
if you
with
want.
both of you.
You can get out if you want. I can get out, if I need to. Like,
Can't be verbal components in the beer.
I don't need to There's certain skills I can cast, hypothetically.
You could put down a tiny amount, but oh no, so you can't cast spells from inside of it.
I can't hear. Can we get some voices raised, please?
He wants to know if I can cast spells from inside levels.
So in which case, you could just place that in case the ceiling collapses.
So I just need to die with you to slower.
No, I can. No.
You can only take like one person with you if you like teleport.
Yeah,
It's
and
just
the
that you
second
can't take anyone. So yeah, I already know these rules. I rely on them heavily.
That's fair. Should I not? You guys have stopped me from casting. So like, should I cast a spell or not? Is the question.
Do you think you're going to bring the whole cave down upon us for your greed?
I want to go ahead and I'm gonna put this back out here. Is that I had given up on the cage until you had brought it back up. Okay, like it seemed more that you wanted me to want to have this more. So like I'm trying to figure out.
Okay, I was just saying, I was trying to think of the loose ends that we had left. This is one of them.
Okay, yeah, it wasn't a loose end because I said I'm giving up on the cage.
Okay, so you said that I'm good.
But you kept bringing it up again. Like, it was. I'm trying to figure out, like, what the fuck.
I'm just saying before we like bring the wall down.
Okay.
Like more.
So the question I'm asking is, do you guys think I should cast the spell?
I have no idea. I don't know what the spell.
I told you what it does.
Okay, but reflected in the real world, do you think you're going to bring the cave down?
It's a possibility.
We'll find it.
Do you think it's going to be effective?
I think it'll. If it doesn't work, it'll just show like how futile this was.
No one's making you do it.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and put the portable hole up on the nearest clear wall.
Okay.
All right. If you guys can leave your extra dimensional pockets outside and help me just get everything back in, we're done here. I'm not expending any more magic on this.
Okay.
All right. Fair enough. A little bit dusty, but everything goes back in the portable hole. Nary a problem.
Okay. Just before grabbing the portable hole and getting everything back in there, I want to turn around really quickly just to see if any of those little bastards are hiding in there again.
In your portable hole?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Make a perception check.
Cool. Thought I remembered what it was, but just want to make sure. Nope. Total of 6.
What was it?
Total of 6.
Hard to tell. There's a lot of shadows going on with the torch being moved and everything else.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then I'm quickly going to close my portable hole, fold it back up, put it in my pocket. All right.
Okay.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
The unstuffed doll would make the eye.
As everyone's leaving the room. God damn it! No, I'm not going to do it. I almost want to just for the Indiana Jones vibes.
Are you gonna fireball this place when we left?
Huh?
No,
All
I was
right.
gonna cast Erupting Earth.
No, Daniel was gonna fireball.
Oh yeah, Daniel was going to fireball. Okay, so after we're leaving,
Okay.
we have no reason to stay here any longer. Like, no one wants anything off the shelves.
I think we've ransacked it, haven't we?
Yeah, we
Pretty
picked
much.
this place pretty much clean.
I don't want to touch anything else in this fucking place.
Cool. All right, you guys go ahead.
Nothing left in the cauldron, right?
There's nothing left in the cauldron. I'm not checking it again.
You sure?
Positive.
It went so well for you last time.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked.
Not checking it.
I mean, it worked, but
You
Not very well.
you go to look in that cauldron, and I can guarantee that's going to be that's going to be your final resting place. Okay.
I'm
then.
not looking at the cauldron always.
Oh, okay. You're not
All
looking
right.
at it or in it.
You would fit in the cauldron.
Yeah. No. My
Oh,
point.
definitely.
Not in one piece.
I didn't say how he was gonna fit. I just said fit.
Yeah. No. I'm fine with
Over
Irvin on
that.
this one.
No, either
Worry
of
about
them
taking
died.
that shit.
I set them up, you knock them down.
I don't
Exactly.
remember. Did you drink anything?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Remember, he reversed time on himself?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that's
right.
right.
You just had to remind
That's
them.
right.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. 'cause
Damn it.
fuck
Come
you, that's
on.
why.
As a DM, there are only a handful of moments that are
Self-owned.
genuinely fucking gold. And you taking fire damage and reversing time on yourself so you reverse your throw up. Ah, so good. So
Pretty sure I
good.
took fire damage again after that, didn't I?
Yeah.
you did.
Smaller amount, but yeah.
It's okay.
Well, yeah, because your body cooled it.
Mm.
That's how science works.
I drank rat bits.
Bill. Bill Nye, the science guy.
I just think of the test dummy car crash
Inertia is a
version.
property of matter. What happened?
I just think of the test dummy crash
Oh.
car version. That's what we are.
Right? All right, cool.
That's literally
So,
what we do with the. Yeah, we can reverse time. Like, just try it.
Effectively, yeah.
Oh, look.
He knew what was gonna
There's
happen when
no,
he gave me that power.
there's no repercussions
Their
to this.
insides became outsides. Better reverse time.
Cool. So you guys go ahead and go on ahead. I'm gonna bury this place.
Your entrails will become your
Extrails.
extrails.
Pain. Lots of pain.
I will fong you.
God, A Knight's Tale.
I love that movie.
It was
Such
so
a good movie.
Good.
And
now he plays Vision.
I know. The movie ages so well too. Like there's no problem with watching that movie over and over again. Oh,
Yep.
man.
It's a perfect fall asleep movie.
Does
Such a
Netflix
good
still
movie.
have it?
I think
I
one of
really
them
like
does. I don't know
DVD.
which one. I want to say one of them does have it.
I know Netflix used to, but they go through shit. So.
Yeah,
Such a good
cycles.
movie.
We used to own the DVD.
So I think everyone's owned the DVD
At some point. Yeah. I
Okay.
think
Yeah.
part of
No,
me wants to say I actually do still have mine.
yeah.
Mm.
After
Some
everyone
random fucking
leaves,
redneck has mine.
after we all leave, after everyone leaves,
Okay.
just gonna spend one last moment. Okay, do I see any of the dolls just moving around?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Shoot them.
Oh, he's very
If you see one, I'm gonna look.
I waited till you guys were at least 10, 15 feet ahead of me.
Mm.
No, what the fuck?
Mine-
6.
You rolled another
No.
fucking one?
Yeah, on
No.
a different die. It's a different die.
It's straight up fumbling.
Yeah, fuck. God damn.
It doesn't appear to there doesn't appear to be anything moving, anything visible in this area.
Okay.
Roll another 6 before you leave the cursed area.
Oh yeah, 3 6s. Great, good idea.
Come on.
Be right on that.
Oh, you have to.
No.
Do it.
Fuck you guys.
No.
19.
Okay. All right. The opposite of
The opposite? What the fuck? 19.
like 20 minus 1. Oh.
Oh, no.
Okay, no.
Oh, speaking of the cursed areas, has anybody seen the preview for the new Candyman movie?
No.
No.
They got a new Candyman movie coming out. It's what's his name? The same dude who did Get Out.
Oh.
Ooh, Jordan Peele?
Yeah. It looks good. I have not been excited about a horror movie since like the early 90s, and this one actually excites me. There's something different about it. I
Were you-
really like
Jordan
the
Peele's
idea.
amazing director.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't get me wrong.
Way different. Like,
His style and everything is so different from
I
so
still
many
need
other
to see
people.
Get Out.
I haven't seen it
Still
either.
drives me
Like,
nuts. What?
no, I haven't. I haven't seen it. I had meant to after it came out, and then some people ruined some shit about the movie. I decided I just didn't really care anymore. And then I saw like more about it, and I was like, all right, I gotta fucking watch this shit. And I just haven't done it yet.
I'm gonna see what.
But this preview looks really fucking good.
Oh, damn.
Really good.
I still can't watch horror movies without laughing at like half the fucking movie.
No, believe me, like these new age
But I
fucking
like
horror
how-
movies are dog shit.
Not
Absolute
It
dog
depends
shit.
on the type of horror.
Hmm.
So
God damn.
I like the horror that shifted from like the gore classic thriller stuff and that's gone more like mind bendy.
I'm cool with
Like,
psychological,
a lot of people,
like, mind-bending type
technically
horror.
Get Out.
I hate fucking jump scare movies because
Yeah.
like they're pointless to me. I hate the fucking shock gore, those ones like the fucking Hostel and Hills Have Eyes and shit
Yeah.
like that and
torture
Centipede.
porn.
Yeah, the torture points.
Oh,
Don't like
never
them. Cannot
fan
fucking
of
stand
that.
those. But
No, but like I said, this it's come out like the past couple of years. Like Sorry to Bother You and Get Out and Midsummer. Like they're not.
I haven't seen Midsummer either. That one's
Hereditary.
on Netflix, isn't it?
Or
Hulu.
Amazon.
Amazon? I knew it was on one of them. I remember
Yeah, it's
seeing
on.
it.
Like, Get Out's on Premium Hulu, Premium Sling. You can get it from YouTube, Vudu, or Amazon for $3.99.
Have you seen any of the other stuff like Black Klansman or Sorry to Bother You?
I don't think so.
Oh, have you seen Midsummer or Heredity?
Nope.
Or,
Nope.
See, if it's a psychological horror,
I know, I'm falling behind on a lot of this shit. Don't get me wrong. Like, part
Do
of
you
it
want
is
some
that
logins? I'll share some logins.
I have logins. Don't
I
get me
mean,
wrong.
I won't share logins.
Never. Definitely did not
Bad
have
kids,
every.
please don't
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, tech overlords. I mean, I will not.
Dear FBI agent, it was a joke.
Definitely didn't have 20 people using HBO Now all at once.
Damn it, it's the only one I don't have.
All you have to do is use the.
I got rid of it
link
as soon as
All of our accounts, I have a leech option.
Oh, there you go.
As soon as Game of Thrones ended, I got rid of HBO.
Yeah, there was a handful of things on HBO now I really wanted to watch, but I never got around to it just
HBO
because of shit.
Max.
I never did
HBO Max has Big Bang, and that makes me really want it.
Oh, Big
Just
Bang.
that one
Big
show
Bang.
being on there makes me
Is
want
it
it.
Big Bang?
Why
on,
would you do that?
Netflix
Like
or
you can do
Hulu or something?
what is it, CBS? Like CBS has a lot of their stuff on their website stream system
Mhm.
or like the app streamer.
Mm.
And so like every now and then you'll get things like Big Bang Theory will just go on there, just the
Mhm.
full thing,
Mm.
and you can watch it.
CBS
I
is-
want to get Picard. That's
That's
the
fair.
big CBS one for me is
Mhm.
That's
Picard.
fair.
There's a new one that's about to come out that I remember seeing the preview for a couple of days ago or like a week ago. I can't remember what the show was now. I
Have
need
you
to look it
watched-
up.
Have you watched Picard yet?
I have not. I've been wanting to. I've been
If I
fucking
remember
dying
right-
to.
If I remember right, CBS doesn't require money.
They
the
do
basic
for
one.
the new stuff.
Oh.
For any of the new stuff that's
It's
that
like
comes
Hulu,
out.
Hulu Premium.
Yeah,
kind of shit.
like you have to
Okay.
wait long enough before it eventually ends up going free. But
That's
yeah,
Well, I watched
Like,
a few
Picard.
episodes of
Anything
it.
on Disney Plus,
It's-
I haven't seen.
It's phenomenal.
I know. I really like the idea. And I've been dying to watch it, and I just haven't. But yeah, like as far as like a lot of the Jordan Peele stuff, I know that Jordan Peele's really good. I do enjoy his style a lot, but part of it is the fact that I just haven't been excited about a horror movie in so long. And so a lot of his stuff has a lot of that like horror movie to it. And so I didn't really care. And then I saw this preview for Candyman and I was like, ooh, that's intriguing. It's a whole different like take on Candyman.
I never
And it's
watched-
really neat.
I have to watch because, like I said, I'm the opposite. I don't usually enjoy horror films because I don't like the jump and gore and stuff
Yeah,
like that. So this newer age of like the mind thriller stuff, it's been like a big, like big thing. for
Right.
me. And because like I
See,
throw my money into movies.
I liked them back in the good old thriller days, and then I liked what they were doing for a short period of time where they went for like the more psychological ones in like the late 80s, early 2000s, or sorry, late 90s, early 2000s. Event Horizon to this day is still one of my favorite horror movies. I think it's fantastic. To me, it's a better version of what the Hellraiser movies should have been. The Hellraiser movies should have been far more psychological and far less torture porn-ish. Even though, yes, they weren't necessarily as full on that as the actual torture porn ones. I think that they could have been done a lot better. And Event Horizon, to me, was what those should have been.
Event Horizon definitely sounds more like a sci-fi than a horror.
It is.
It can be both.
It was.
You can do
It's about a ship that basically they develop like a not a faster than light, but basically it travels through like warp holes, like tears in space to get to travel long distance. And so they tested out this ship on its first maiden voyage, and it tore through space, and then it disappeared off the face of like the entire universe. Nobody could find it. And then like I don't remember how long later, eventually it shows up like a blip, like an SOS signal basically. So they send a team out there to investigate. The team goes on the ship, and like effectively this thing went when it ripped a hole through space, it went through an alternate dimension that was effectively hell. And so like all of this like fucking really horrible shit came back with it and like started like terrorizing people and shit like that. It's fucking amazing.
I think I watched that.
It's fucking amazing. Sam Neill is so fucking good just as a general rule. But when you're watching, like this was like not too long after Jurassic Park came out.
I think I did watch it.
So when you watch Sam Neill go from like Jurassic Park to this movie, you're like, what the fuck just happened?
Sci-fi horror is one of the only ones I actually can watch. Like the paranormal kind of shit, it just makes me laugh.
I
It
can't
literally
stand
just
that
makes
shit.
me laugh.
Like Paranormal Activity.
Those types of movies, fuck that.
No,
I've hated that shit
you
forever.
can tell all the jokes and stuff. Like you can tell like how they're doing all of it, and then all it does is I have to deal with a toddler after we watch it for the
Right.
next 3 months.
To me,
It's not fucking
it's
funny when you find like Bibles over the fucking house. And shit.
to me,
This
it's
sounds
the
like
equivalent
freaking
of like.
Firestarter.
Well, yeah, to me, it's the equivalent of like the old days where like everybody was obsessed with fucking Blair Witch, and
I like Blair Witch, but also I saw it when I was like 8.
I've never seen Blair Witch.
and Cloverfield
I
and
like
I
I liked
Oh.
Cloverfield.
Could not
But I
fucking
saw it
stand
when
it.
I was like
There was
13.
no fucking anything to that movie. There was just absolutely no point, no
Which
purpose,
is
no
true,
plot,
which
no
is
anything.
True. But they had potential, and that's what's frustrating about it. They could have done a lot of really cool things with it, and I like the general approach.
It could have been a.
And I like the
It could have if it could have been an interesting new take on a monster movie, like kaiju style
Yeah.
monster movie, and I think it could have been good. But no, it was fucked, man.
From the eyes of a 13-year-old, I liked it because a lot of people were annoyed that you didn't really see the aliens and things, but I kind of liked that idea that it wasn't completely.
Like everyone else is seeing this,
It's from
but I can't.
It's from the character's point of view. Like you kind of catch the horror out of the corner of your eye, or hear it from other people, and to me that was more realistic than like some movies where like, what are the odds that this person is going to catch everything in a perfectly caught?
I
green
get
view
that,
every
but
time?
still, like
I really
they
like
tried
the,
so hard to like
Again, 13
add that like thriller suspense aspect,
Did
and
they?
to me they
I don't
failed.
remember it like that.
To me they failed.
I just saw people exploding behind medical screens, so I got excited.
Okay.
I was 13,
Okay. Fair enough.
and I knew that I wanted to go into medicine.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I think the next evolution from that was the movies like Skyline and what was the other one, like Invasion LA or something like
And they
that.
did do a follow-up
Whatever
with
it was.
Cloverfield. The
They
one in the
did like
bunker.
2 other ones.
yeah, technically they did 2 other ones. The one in
It's the
space.
same year.
And then there was the
I
one
don't
where they were
remember-
like in the
in the
bunker,
bunker.
and
I
that
remember
was
the-
John Goodman.
Yeah.
That one was good. Did you see that?
I did not. Mostly because fuck Cloverfield. After watching the first one, fuck Cloverfield.
I actually
The
As
second
much
one's
as
not like the
that
first
one, I know. As much as that one seemed much different, fuck Cloverfield.
And that one was very psychological. I do like that.
I can't do anything about it. Like once it shuts a part of my brain off, I don't give a shit about that movie anymore.
Yeah. No,
He
that
will
one-
never change his mind.
But
So-
there were some cheesy moments in it, but still, it's like overall.
I'm okay with a handful of cheesy moments. I don't mind cheese. I hate
That's not what
fucking.
she said.
I hate like I'm gonna try to mentally manipulate you using this movie. Oh, you failed. You done failed.
I don't. Do you think they tried to
I'm out.
manipulate?
I'm out. I'm walking away.
Did they?
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Who?
There was
Into what?
in
Who's they?
what? Like you're talking about Cloverfield?
Yeah.
There was a lot
The-
surrounding.
The sheer number of times that like there was the suspense moments, the unnecessary suspense moments, where like somebody is like dangling off of a cliff or something like that, and you're like, there's no
Oh,
fucking
They
reason for
wanted like
this.
the catch breath moment.
Yeah, like those types of things, or the ones where like
I was
they were
thinking more
intended
like-
as a jump scare,
I was just going more
and
for like
it
the political.
fails horribly
Yeah, that's
because like you should technically be able to see this coming, and from the person, like the camera person's eyes, the only reason why the person didn't see it coming was because like literally they turned away at the moment when like they would have seen something, like
Okay,
those
okay.
types of shit.
Okay, that's a little more fair. For some, I thought you meant like political underlying tones or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Oh no, that's not what I'm
like-
talking about.
I'm like,
No, I'm not talking
I
about, like-
watched it through like once. I was like,
No, I'm not talking about like political like.
I'm like, man, they
and,
can
like,
do me
manipulation.
good. Like I was like,
Right?
No, there wasn't anything like that.
I'm
There
like, I think I'm
wasn't.
a sleeper cell now. Something happened because I don't remember that shit. Like,
Right?
I'm concerned.
Now all of a sudden you're Black Widow, like ready to kill the president or
Oh,
something.
good
No, comrade. Cloverfield good.
Good.
You must watch.
Must watch.
Oh God. Fuck. The one in space was fucking great.
I don't remember the one in space
What?
at all. I don't remember.
Cloverfield.
Yeah.
What one
You
was
get,
Was that
you
the
get-
third one?
The astronaut got transported like to a alternate universe.
No, I don't remember that coming out. Or
I
It's on
remember.
Netflix.
I remember previews for like the third one, and I didn't give a shit.
I missed.
Like I
that
said,
completely.
I shut the fuck off after the first one,
I
and I
don't-
didn't give a shit.
I saw the second.
Same thing
one.
with Blair Witch. Like I know that they made a sequel or maybe 2 sequels.
There's 4 or 5 of them.
Oh, was there that many? Oh fuck, I
haven't
didn't give a
watched
shit.
that many.
I watched the very first one, and I shut the fuck off. I was done. I had no interest after that.
Yeah. The Cloverfield paradox.
Yeah, there you go. And no shit's given to me.
Yeah, it's still on Netflix.
Okay.
But yeah, like the Jordan Peele ones, I genuinely like the stuff that he does. It's just the fact that I hadn't really given a shit about horror in so long.
Which is
And
fine.
so,
See, for me, I always did like all of the movie subscription stuff.
right.
So
There was a time
For,
when
like,
I
10
would have gone through and I would have watched like all of his stuff. Like I used to go through and watch like the Golden Globe nominees and the winners and stuff like that, and the Academy Awards and stuff like that. Like the winners.
Oh yeah, it does have Christian down.
I would go through and I would watch them just because
Yeah.
like I want to see what other people were like thought was so good, but I don't usually have the time these days.
because like for me, it's like when Movie Pass came out, it's like $10 a month. I can see whatever movies I want.
Right.
So that
And
would
then
be
they
like
jack that shit through the fucking
yeah.
roof.
Well, now like even like with Regal, it's like it's still less than $20 a month. So it's like
Is it?
yeah,
I think it was way more than that.
No, I pay $18 a month, and I can see however many movies. If I want to see the same movie 20 times,
Right.
or
Why did I think it was more than that?
there are
Or
different
maybe
packages.
it was more than that. At
Yeah,
point.
there's different packages. So mine's the cheapest one,
Mhm.
but it gets me the theaters in our area. So
Right.
like, let's say the only theater in your area was one of the more expensive ones, so you might have to pay more. But I think
Right.
it still maxes out like 35, which is
Okay.
still like 2 movie tickets,
Right. I mean, if you're
roughly.
you kind of expect to pay more if the only
Right.
available theater is one that costs more,
Right,
like
so,
the high class
yeah.
movie codes or something
So
like
like I mean,
Yeah.
so basically for $20 a month, I can see how many movies I want. So for me, it's just like fuck it.
that. There was a time I used to
Because-
go and like I used to love watching movies. Like I would usually take like a whole entire Saturday and I would just go there at like 10:30 in the morning and I would just watch fucking movies all day long. I just catch up on shit that I hadn't watched and just don't really have a chance these days.
Which one reason I've caught a lot of those horror films, but also I'm glad I had. So.
Right.
I remember
Yeah.
for like a whole,
The Jordan Peele ones I
They
wouldn't
are
mind
very-
watching at some point when I get a chance.
I remember for like a whole year there, it was like every week, and I would go to the movie theater.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is what I was doing anyway.
I would do the same thing with Courtney and Cody when they were younger too. I would take them to the movies
It was
all the
a
time.
rare treat whenever I got to go to the movies. Like I either had to, like especially here, my grandparents, fucking homebodies.
Yeah,
I-
Well, I knew
had
how
to-
I knew how it was for the kids, especially with like Mom and Jamie,
Mm.
and so yeah, I would usually try to show up and like do cool things for them. So
Yeah,
Older
I did
brother's
that, but
piece
we
of
did,
shit.
we did like, yeah, we did beach and
well,
stuff.
not everybody can be as great as me.
No, I didn't say you're great. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no. The only time while I was living here that I ever saw any of my older siblings was when my sister from Miami came to visit with my parents, and then when I turned 18 and my older brother came to get me to give me my first tattoo. I didn't see him after that for years.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, no, fuck that. Yeah, no.
I would take Jonathan to the beach and buy him peanut butter milkshakes.
Peanut butter.
Didn't get
wait,
that
what?
either.
Because we go to Sonic and we didn't have
Mhm.
that here, so I would take him there, and then he realized we could get ice cream out of his little order or whatever, so I said he'd get like a Route 44 and peanut butter milkshake when he was like 12. And then took him to Chipotle.
Bruh, your entire being could fit into 44 ounces. The
Pretty
fuck?
You're like
much.
100,
I know.
You're like 111 pounds. You weigh the size of like my leg. One leg.
I think I've gained a little bit of weight. You can't see my
Yeah,
legs
your
anymore.
fucking skull.
Okay, so when you go out and piss, you
Density.
get back to 111 pounds.
Fair enough. But I am actually a lot healthier now than I was when I was at 111.
I'm glad you found Jesus, but we're talking about how much you weigh.
That's not healthier. That ain't healthy.
Child, it's the South,
Oh, bless your heart.
darling.
Goddamn. Oh, that fucking hurts inside. Oh,
You can't.
You can't
so
what?
many times.
I was about to say it, and I realized probably every one of us in here had "bless your heart" said to us in so
Oh,
many
holy
conversations.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Come
Well,
on.
That's why I stopped. Like,
The Lord
as soon as
will
I said that, I
guide
was like,
you
"Oh
and
wait,
bless
yeah."
your heart.
I went to high school at Clewiston.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I was known as the atheist when I went to
The
high school. And
atheist.
the atheist.
You were known as the fucking nut
I
crushing
don't know, I don't
atheist.
wanna
That's
talk
true.
about
But
Oh,
yeah.
let's talk about Laura in high school.
Oh no. Going to high school in Clewiston was fantastic. Very first question you get answered by the very first student you see is, "What church y'all going to?" Church? Huh? No.
You should have fucked with him. Been
should have,
like,
like, the chicken
Latter Day
place?
Saints.
Oh, we went
Can I talk to you all about Mormons? And just show them the fucking South Park episode or the Book of Mormon. Either one of those. Doesn't really matter which one. They're both fucking good.
God.
Dum da dum dum dum.
Did you see that the guy who played Chef stopped playing? He became a Mormon. Not a Mormon. No, he became a Scientologist.
Oh yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
That's not
That doesn't surprise me.
better.
No. He became a Scientologist, and he was so pissed off because like South Park had made like an off comment
Yeah.
about it, and then when they found out that he really didn't like that, that's when they made the episode of when Chef came back.
Good.
And they didn't get him to voice the character. They just used snippets of him from like
Yeah.
past episodes because they had the rights to those.
Right.
He was.
I'm cool with that.
I
pissed.
don't understand how people are still falling. I don't understand how they fell for it anyway, but I don't understand how people keep falling for it.
Because if you can buy the basic concept is if you can convince somebody that they need to be redeemed, and then you convince them after that all you have to do is pay money to be redeemed, then of course people are going to be okay with it.
Like,
Oh, you mean I don't have to actually change my life in any substantial way? All I have to do is pay you money? Cool.
I'm
Like-
a rich person in America.
but it's like
That's
but they're-
literally
that's
No,
to
every
me-
rich person in
But to
America
me, what they're doing
refuses
is
to pay
even
money to
worse
feel better.
because that's just like buying a was it the Catholic Church sells
Um,
a pension?
I
I used to know the word until I had to say it. Shut up.
Absolution?
no,
It's a special piece of paper, and they sell them when they need money. Indulgences.
indulgence, thank you.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
What?
You
Indulgence.
don't remember about this? An indulgence. Yeah, so like let's say you, your family, something bad happened, the church was asking for money. For a certain X amount of money, your local priest or whoever you had to go to would write you this piece of paper saying you're forgiven. And it's
Ahead
called
of time.
Indulgence. Yeah. So like, hey, he insulted my grandma, I need to go cut his head off. Cool, $200, you won't go to hell.
You're fucking with me.
It's not. It's usually.
Is that
I
a
know-
pay to sin model?
Yes, yes, but no.
I'm doing it really simplified.
She's going hyperbolic as far as it goes.
Yeah.
Traditionally, it wouldn't have been something like I need to go kill this person because that's not usually a thing. Although they would buy ahead of time for like executioners and stuff like that who had to do it for their job, and they would obviously sell indulgences to people who were like executioners or soldiers who were going off to war, stuff like that, because obviously you would want to buy the indulgence ahead of time that would clear your soul in the event that you died before being able to
That's right.
repent.
You're right. Before you were given the ability to like repent officially, they would sell indulgences, and so it was a real thing. And it was one of the main reasons why Martin Luther wrote his 99 Theses on the something of the Catholic Church. Can't remember his wording on it. That was one of the main reasons that caused him to really write that. Like, obviously, he had all of the other reasons, but that was his major thing. Was
His
like,
major acting, right.
this is dog shit right here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't usually as harsh as what she made it out to be. But it would absolutely be something like, because some of these people would only be able to go to the Catholic Church, they would only be able to go to church like on the high holidays.
Yeah.
So you would go there for the high holidays, you would buy indulgences. That way, if you died before you could get back to church to repent your sins before an actual priest, your soul would go to heaven.
Like soldier.
That's dumb. That's really dumb. And people
It's
bought
religion.
this.
Yeah,
Literally.
absolutely.
Literally.
Absolutely.
It's really dumb.
And it's also really funny when you consider like it was monetary, and again, the reason a lot of people didn't attend church wasn't also just be out of like accessibility, but also because it cost money to go to church and they couldn't afford it. I was like, why
Right.
almost everyone was married on Easter because Easter was one of the free days for church, so they could all get married for free on Easter's.
That's so.
Yep.
Yay!
Yeah. Yeah, because back then they didn't actually like pass around the collection plate when you're already there, like the mass being said and all that. You literally paid on your way in the doors.
Yeah, that's why if you go into old churches, it's a collection box on your way in. You would do your cleansing to enter the church, and then you would.
Yep.
And that's just to get in. You also have to remember back in the day, it wasn't like churches now where it's open. You had certain layers. So how much money you had and your standing in society would dictate where in church you were. And
Yeah.
there's usually screens. So you would pay money to listen to and see a show that you couldn't really even hear or see. And it's often performed in languages that were not for like local peasantry. So even if you could afford to go to church, you didn't actually understand what the fuck was going on.
Even the landed gentry didn't know Latin. Like that was a very, very well kept secret as far as that language goes.
Right.
Like unless you were entered and indoctrinated into like the actual like hierarchy of the church, you weren't taught that. So even like the rich people who would like pay to be all the way up front had no clue what was going on. They just were told that you had to sit here and say these words and repeat after us in order to go to heaven.
No matter how much money you made.
And she's right. There would be screens in between every paying section. So like the further back you were, like they would get more opaque because of all the screens.
Think lattice, like wood lattice, because
Yeah.
that's what.
Good fucking God.
Yep. Oh yeah. Fucking atrocities,
And then if you go
God
to the
damn.
larger churches, they would have like off to the side sanctums where they'd be like different like altars and things.
If you want to talk about
like,
religious
with
atrocities,
the
we can just talk about the child
prayers
disease. So.
It's interesting.
There's a lot of like shit that we talk about. Anyway, so now that we had our little history lesson,
Why do we always do that?
because we're fucked up people who have random knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot.
All right, so
All shits are dead.
No, keep.
I was just thinking about.
so exiting out of, are you still with the thing and the stuff and thing?
Yeah, as
Casting
everyone,
the spell.
as everyone's leaving, as you know, after everyone's leaving, you know, it's just like I don't see anybody. Anything still in there? Here's your chance to get out.
Let's not
Rough-
say that.
Don't give them a chance.
Why?
Are you casting it in the room with the cage, or are you casting it out into the main room?
Yeah,
Where are
I
you
have
casting it?
120 feet. I know where the cage is. I'm pointing at the cage.
I mean, you wouldn't be able to. I mean, you could rip the curtain down and get like maybe a side view into the room.
Yeah.
But you're catching just part of like the back corner of it.
That's
you wouldn't
fine.
really be able to.
That's
You could-
fine, as long as I hit that wall.
The wall where the cage is,
Yep.
you wouldn't be able to from unless
At least-
because
or
the way
at
the
least-
hallway goes and then it branches.
He's just
One,
aiming.
one, one.
That
So what you
general
end up seeing is you basically catch like this corner of the room and the cage is on this side.
Cool.
That's kind of how it ended up working.
Nah. I'm just gonna hit that room as far into it as I can see. I'm gonna hit it.
Okay, no problem.
And the second I'm done casting it, I'm running.
Okay. Casting your spell. You hear behind you as you haul ass an erupting of earth from inside there, a cracking and rumbling of stones, and then a deeper rumbling of stones that sounds very reminiscent of the ceiling of cavern.
Run, y'all. Let's get the fuck out of here. Let's go.
What the fuck did you do?
Huh? You're gonna seriously ask me questions when I tell you to run?
I'm not thinking on top.
Get the fuck out. Okay.
All right.
Cool. If that's the case, you're gonna stand here and ask questions. I'm gonna grab Arkin and I'm gonna cast Dimension Door to get the
I
fuck
don't know
out.
who you're
All
grabbing because I'm already away.
Okay, then.
Hauling ass, reaching the mouth of the cavern, leading the mouth of the tunnel leading into the hag's room. You're preceded just by a waft of dust. As you hear behind you, the stones start to settle. Does not appear that it's continuing to collapse.
I don't hear it continue.
Nope.
I'm gonna stop and look back and see if I can see any further in there.
You would have to at least just get far enough in to like get past that curve just to see the main like chamber. If that's as far as you're going. Or are you going back in at all?
Nah, fuck it. I'm out.
Cool. All right. Hauling ass.
While we're running, I'm gonna cast clairvoyance real fast and check in there, see how bad it is.
Okay. Easy enough. Holding the gem that you got from the hag up to your eye, you watch as the fog inside of the gem clears itself out, and suddenly you're looking as if from slightly above and offset from the center of that main chamber. And you can see, well, actually, you can't see. You don't have dark vision.
I forgot the cave wasn't lit. I thought
No,
it was lit.
that cave was lit, dude.
Can he sense it with his heart? Is anything on fire?
There's nothing on fire. There's no lights inside.
Yeah, I forgot the
No
Why do
problem.
you still not have dark vision?
No
I thought
problem.
we fixed that problem. Don't you have something to wear or something?
He did, but he swapped it out.
He didn't swap it out on the last long rest we took either.
Yeah, I forgot.
Or
to
the
do
short rest before that.
How many levels would you have to take to be able to summon a familiar in another class?
What's that?
Wait,
that. Fuck you, Laura.
what happened?
Look, I'll sell your soul for you. We'll make you fucking Laura. I don't give a shit. Like, you gotta fix this somehow.
Please tell me you're saying this in character.
Yes.
I mean, at 10th level, you get a feat if he wanted to take something like, say, Eldritch Invocation to get Devil Sight. In which case, he could do that. It's a real, it's a real viable thing.
Yeah.
He's immediately fucking pulling it up.
It's
in
a
Tasha's, honey.
no, it's in that one.
Isn't it that one?
The Eldritch Invocation itself is in there. The feat is in Tasha's. You're correct, but the Eldritch Invocation is in the player's
Not
handbook.
that I don't look at.
Sorry, I've been creating these archetypes. I know the book's fucking backward and forward at this point.
But
As
you
you
still
should.
don't have.
When I tell you I've got 13 tabs open when I'm creating these archetypes, I do.
When do we get them?
10, he
10th
said
level.
level 10. He said level 10.
What
Even if he
level
didn't
are we
know.
at? Are we now? What level are we
8.
now? 8, so it's not next level, right?
8,
more levels.
about to be
Okay.
9. Yeah.
What?
Come on, 11.
Oh, I thought you said 8 more levels.
I
So I'm
want
just like,
reliable
wait a second. The
talent.
fuck
I
did you
want
say?
reliable talent.
Great,
You know
man.
damn well if I said 8, it was just a miss.
I never have
Reliable
nothing
talent, man. Oh,
Oh, I'm
Okay,
so
I'm getting
ready.
double-sided
Oh, I'm
pen.
so ready.
What is
Immediately.
reliable
boy. It's
talent?
a great,
I'm immediately doing that.
great idea.
Like that was gonna be for my wisdom to get up, but no, I'm gonna
That'd be
pick
great
this
for
up.
you.
It's a great idea.
So if I roll anything,
It's
below
super
10, I
useful in
just count it
so
as a
many
10.
ways.
So no, never
All right,
again.
so
Fuck.
Yeah. Just fucking get.
what was that?
She's trying. She's so excited to never fumble again.
It's one of the great things about being a halfling. It's always fantastic to be a halfling and have halfling luck, or the luck feat, or luck feature, if you will.
Yeah, the.
It's so nice. You
I keep
re-roll
forgetting I have
ones.
that.
Yeah, I know. As a DM, I don't
Yeah,
have
we
a problem
know.
with that.
Yeah, we all know. Where.
But yeah, reliable talent, man. Woohoo. It's nice.
I know. Reliable talent's gonna be.
So, heading back to
I
this
can
first
ask him
Dabbling
like this
village.
right
And there's no limit on how many times I can use that one either.
What's
No,
that?
it's just part of you.
It's just part of you after that.
You just slap your 2 dicks down and like make the dice roll again. Like
Correct. I mean, you're only selling the smallest, teeniest, tiny portion of your soul for it, but it's no big deal.
I mean, you're a halfling, so
Right.
no one really cares.
Halflings don't have souls. There's a hug requirement, right?
I mean,
Actually,
They're like-
in a lot of the backgrounds, it's like they're kind of like fake beings.
what?
Like a lot of like lore that follows that same pattern. The Hobbit halfling.
Yeah, the precursor mythology behind,
You guys-
like, before, like,
Yeah,
Hobbit.
and a lot of them they make you the halflings like the one like the bastard god experiment. So you guys are like.
Well, specifically pre-Tolkien halflings, if you will. If I remember the lore correctly, they were some sort of not quite fairy, not quite human, that, like, they were always talked about as, like, skittering folk, like, that moved around really fast, but they didn't really, they
They
weren't
had,
really
like,
actual
brownies.
anything. Yeah, closer to brownies.
But
Yeah.
the version I heard, a lot of them make them kind of like what Tolkien made dwarves, wherein like they were created not by like a true god, but like a bastard.
Oh,
god.
yeah, that's
So
the
they
lore
ended-
for most of those
Yeah, so
creatures.
they end up being like practices, so then like the days do they actually go to heaven? Are you real? No, you're not really a people. You're really just like dirt and leaves that somehow end
Yeah.
up breeding. And,
Like,
What?
No, I just like the way you explained it.
And
Well, that's
somehow
literally-
you're breeding.
But that's literally how
No,
like
no, no,
elves
it's like-
describe them. Like,
Yeah, I get that, but the way
I thought
you
we were
said
staying
it,
away from the anti-villain.
it's
So,
not your
you-
My
campaign,
next
so
three
we can
levels,
do
each
it.
one's gonna be
well,
a major
no, no.
improvement.
So
my
you're
movement,
What's that?
my movement first.
Yeah,
you being
yeah.
a player is the
My
only
chosen.
constant
James and
between
I
the
are
two.
As well
even
as my,
sitting next to each other.
Yeah, you being a
dice
player is the only
and the
constant.
ASI.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yep.
I'm not lying.
And yes, I did do that.
Yeah, you make sure that we're all very aware of that.
It's not an ASI
I only got
technically.
a
It's
couple
a
of
feat.
dollars for it, like, I'm not
Feet specifically.
Bruh.
I'm not giving
The
like
work, yeah,
I'm
the
not
work
giving out
just didn't.
tons of ASIs.
You know.
I'm giving out feats
Oh, he's
specifically so that you
stalking.
can
Oh,
flesh
he's
out your
stalking.
character.
It just didn't come to
Are
mind.
you a fat
It happens.
baby?
All right,
Oh,
so
God bless.
heading back towards the Svirfneblin village.
Yes.
We can fast forward through this unless there's something you want to do.
I'm just saying, if that cave didn't like magically collapse, I might be a good like cash later on if we ever come back.
I don't intend on ever coming back here. Quote me, please.
But when I was talking about how we were going to spend our last few days, we literally talked about going back to the tower and then coming back here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anywho,
So, is there anything that anybody wishes to do during short rest or long rest on the ride home, or we can fast forward back to the Svirfneblin village?
we can go back.
Yep,
to
just my usual nighttime activities.
Okay.
Everyone, no one's passive perception.
Same. So that's gonna be like another 2 hours for me. Okay.
Sounds good.
Haven't seen the orb.
Well, this
Well,
one
after
I
we
did.
left, good job.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Oh. Okay, so the next
Not
4
fun.
levels.
Ouch.
Immediately
So,
after.
what is it? It's after we get back to the village, we obviously we're seeing supplies in the street or
This would be about 2 days after you left. They haven't actually started moving anything just yet, but you can see in the center of the village there are a number of large, what look to be like woven baskets of like some like very pale material that are all being stacked and like piled up in the center of the village. All seem to be supplies being prepared and closed off and for like a long travel.
okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna go look for the chief.
Okay.
And I'm gonna see if
It takes you a minute, but him and R are over off to the one side,
mhm,
over by where you had seen the storage rooms,
mhm.
and they're over off on that side, trying to organize everybody into creating more of these woven baskets from these long fibrous. They takes you a second to because you've never seen them in this form, but they look like mushroom stalks that are like stripped into like almost bamboo like strips.
Neat. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I'll approach him in common. I'll ask him how everything's going. How everything's going so far.
It's going well. So far, we haven't had any problems.
The news was received well by the village.
Well, enough, I suppose.
Well,
Nobody's happy about it, but we all agree that we would rather not be so stubborn as to die in this place.
No, it's not dwarves.
well, doors look getting kicked out too. They just crying for help.
Yeah, it's quite a lot about it. Let's see. Out of curiosity, have you had your elemental start clearing the path ahead, as far as like attempting to shore it up because we're going to be moving a lot of bodies through there very quickly to the portal.
The elementals have scouted the way, and as of so far, there do not seem to be any problems.
Okay.
The hardest part of the journey will be when we get to the there's a word in your language I don't quite know. The water falling from on high.
Waterfall.
Rain?
Yes. The raining room.
Raining.
The place where we first met you.
Yeah. Okay.
That will be the hardest part of our journey.
Okay. Out of character. Y'all need to give me a fucking second. It's been months, okay, since we first entered the,
It has
got
been
to that
quite
rock.
some time.
all right.
That wasn't from me remembering
Yeah,
it, it was
okay,
just from me
okay.
thinking.
Yeah,
It's
I knew I
falling
felt something
water.
burning.
But they have prepared a path up to the entryway.
Okay, so we're working on it.
Trying to look for his phone. Clerics that prestidigitation are would be able to do this shit for him a lot faster. They don't.
Oh, you're talking about like the weaving? Yes,
Would
no.
that
There's only so much the magic will do. You could reorganize, you could restack the reeds, if you will. Like there's small things that it could do, but it wouldn't be able to just weave it on its own.
Yeah.
That would
You'd
be
have to
like
have,
druid craft. Druid craft could probably do it.
I figured since it's like a simple item.
Let's take a quick dip into my lore stone real quick.
Okay.
Should we just assume we're gonna have about 2 days of downtime-ish? Anyone else have any other adventures? You're okay. Little fucking monster.
Jesse, while you're up, after you finish blowing your nose,
A Baja, I'm guessing.
Anything but orange.
no, let me get a code red, please. I want to save that. I want to save that Baja for dry foam. So the orange ones I don't give a shit about, and then the
Oh,
code reds I'm cool with.
I finished off the orange ones.
Cool.
All right.
Phone do phone things.
The worst phone thing this phone does is the fact that its sensors don't work well. So I'll tap one area, and then 2 inches up. there'll be another
It is
tap.
only wizard.
Only wizard.
Only wizard.
Uh,
As I
okay.
said, it works just like the optional feature in the book.
Have I noticed that he's growing stronger the more spells I'm giving him? I'm putting into the stone.
You haven't really had taken a chance to really talk to him. You haven't had taken a chance to really interact with him.
Mhm.
So, I mean, not as of yet.
Okay, fair enough.
Nothing obvious just yet.
Okay.
So this guy's basically just inside of you at all times.
Giggity.
And yet you're still such an asshole.
So I'll still come back. I'll come back out, and then okay, I'll ask the chief if there's anything that we can help with.
Until we're ready to move everything to the new location, I do not believe so. Your skills are not suited for this type of labor.
That's fine.
No one has any group project plans before I skedaddle?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So the buildings that we're standing, they rebuilt a small portion of the homes, correct?
Small portion of them,
the
yes.
meeting hall was still standing?
Meeting hall has not been put back up.
Okay, so it wasn't standing.
No.
when we came back.
Their priorities seem to be significantly
Sensible.
different. Yeah, storage for their food and supplies. Then they started doing some of the actual homes, so that people had a place to actual shelter.
would I roughly remember what the meeting hall looked like?
There's
Based
an
off of what's
incredibly
standing?
large pile of stones that seem to have been tidied. In other words, pulled into a single cohesive pile, but it seems roughly about 6 times the size of even the largest of the stone buildings. But yeah, that would be what's left of the meeting hall.
Okay.
Correct.
Would I remember what it looks like at all? I don't remember doing much with it. I'm trying to play fair. I don't remember much of it.
Give me a. Because you took politics, not.
Yeah, you
Architecture
did
or
with
anything
this.
like
Yeah,
that,
we
right?
did. Yeah, nothing for history by itself. But
Right.
You gave me the extra for the politics.
Right. I just couldn't remember because I know we had talked about possibly the architecture thing.
Yeah. Well, that's why I wanted to do booms, but we went against booms.
Right. Just roll yeah, go ahead and roll a history check just to see if you can remember. It's intelligence based. It works.
12.
12. Yeah, you have a pretty decent idea of what it looked like.
Okay. And then not all the graves. They're grave areas disturbed. Just the ones they use for the elementals. Everything else is pretty intact. There's sections of it that are intact.
You're talking about the cairn piles.
Mm-hmm.
There are a number of other cairn piles that have joined, because there was a couple that were missing,
Mm-hmm.
and those have been filled in with others, and there is now a whole entire second row. It seems like as they uncover people, they're adding them to.
And then there's 3 elementals.
Yep, 3 elementals currently.
Any other defining features for this area? This the cavern that they use for a home.
The whole entire thing is effectively a long promontory that comes out into the underground lake that, as it sits right now, looks like more of a river, but it's actually part of a larger lake. And that large promontory juts out from one edge of the cavern, and there are a number of large and small stalactites that all hang from the roof itself, and from the water around are a number of smaller stalagmites.
There's 3 spells I want to take from the Mysterious Spellbook and put it to my spellbook.
Okay.
The Belisarius' Boreal Bridge,
Okay.
the Dark Vision, and Featherfall.
Okay.
Okay. So do I just?
You have enough materials for it?
Yeah. I have enough materials for it still, and for the gold cost as well, for getting everything over. I just had.
Well, the special materials are the gold cost.
Okay.
You spend the gold cost on the special paper and the special inks, and that is your gold cost for the transcribing of the spells.
Right, but I also need the material components if it requires it, right?
That is true. That is
Right.
correct. Yes.
And it's easy, the Belisarius' Boreal Bridge is a small amount of ice, snow, glass, or crystal. 2 of those things aren't going to exist here. Glass, easy enough to come by.
Easy enough to come by.
I can blast fucking sand and I can make glass.
Effectively, it's just a matter of having it in your close vicinity when you actually inscribe the spell.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal.
I'm trying
And
to find my list of
the
components.
now, as far as that goes,
Mhm.
when you create a spell scroll, is when you absolutely need to have expensive components on you.
Yeah.
Because it burns the component to put it into the spell.
Right. Okay, I just
When you're
had-
scribing it in a spell book, it's not required.
I just had my list of spell components. I had to go by it just to get to where I was. No, I know it's in. Found it. I knew I had to go by it to get there. I'm like, fuck. Okay. Yeah.
No other social, societal related features or anything? Is there certain repeating art style or emblem or decoration?
Not really to the outsides of the buildings. That's not really their decorative style. They don't really do much decorating outside of their buildings.
So we have about 3 days of downtime.
Mm-hmm.
I want to use.
Try carrot. Go ahead. Sorry.
They have root vegetables and things. I'm sure that would be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to try and use these new skills to get like 6 sketches of the area.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to do like a section of homes, where I can remember the meeting hall, like a snippet of the graves, a compilation of the elementals, something like maybe what I would get from walking in and out of the area and maybe wandering a little bit for like a general cityscape.
Uh-huh.
The overhang with the lake, and then that's specific like a lake view. If I was to find like a decent view of the lake, kind of piece together what I see with what we have seen because we've traveled this lake enough.
There's not a whole lot of light here.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to remember that.
Yeah.
So if you want to get,
grayscale.
yeah, in particular, the ones that would be really difficult to do would be any of the actual full cityscape, or the like a lakeside view, if you will. Both of those would be outside of the spectrum of your dark vision. Now, you could talk to R, and he could cast daylight over the village, which, if you want to have that conversation with him and maybe the elders and see if maybe like you could convince them that, hey, this is something I'm doing. That's up to you.
Okay.
But it's an option.
I'll
It's on your list.
I took down the gold cost.
Okay.
All right, and I'll go ahead and just add them to the spellbook now.
Go.
And then,
And you're talking about like for the special materials, right? The special paper and inks. It should be on your character sheet on the 3rd page in the treasure section. I believe is where you were keeping the actual like.
Yeah.
I don't remember what you have them labeled as on there.
I had 500 gold pieces of magical supplies.
The magical supplies. If you want to reword that to the special treated paper and inks,
Okay.
that's what they technically are.
If that's the case, then I don't have enough to do this.
Okay.
Is there any way I can create them myself with some of the paper that I have? I just need like magic paper and ink.
You don't really have the training in that.
No.
It's something that if you wanted to work towards training, you could. Like you have the magical skill set to be able to do it.
Yeah.
You just don't have the training in how to,
Okay.
in what's necessary for it. But it's definitely a crafting skill that I would allow that you could learn how to do.
Yeah. Okay.
If you want to, like on a long enough timeline, if you wanted to do that, absolutely.
Okay, if that's the case, then
You wouldn't have it immediately, but if you started working on it, like say now, it's the same basic concept that I have for Laura, for Arkin, is you tell me what you want to learn on, and as long as you mention that you are spending time throughout the course of an entire level, when you gain the next level, you have that skill. So it would take you the course of level 9, but as long as you keep up on it and you let me know that you're working on it and you're practicing at it, when you hit level 10, you would be able to craft those materials using things like diamond dust, gold dust, like actual like special like magical materials, magical component materials.
Gotcha.
Mixed in with like paper and inks. So it's definitely a thing that you could do.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, if that's the case, instead of so I don't have to spend that gold. Great.
Correct. But it's definitely something to try to keep a good supply of.
Yeah.
Like next time you hit a village,
Oh.
make sure that you fucking boom,
Yeah.
drop some fucking G's on it and
Yeah. Oh.
stock up.
A few G's at least.
You have a few Gs.
No, I don't.
Look at his boot. I bet it's in his boot. I guarantee you he keeps it in his boot.
I mean, that's where everyone hides it.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks
Like, Dothmore keeps his gold on him like a fucking tourist. Like, strapped to his chest underneath.
it. So you're just like this tour to get taken to
They're all pierced coins like into a vest.
Yeah.
sewn into it.
Yeah,
like,
I don't get light armor, or actually as an elf I get light armor, but I don't get medium armor. Yeah, I do. I mean, I'm not wearing light armor, but
As an elf, you don't get light armor. You get the weapon proficiencies.
just
But
what
no armor.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Dwarf. Dwarf is the one that you can get armor proficiency
That's
up to
fine.
medium, I think. Or
The heavy.
I don't think it's up to heavy.
I'm
I know
not
one of
helping
them.
your
I know one of them
class.
ignores the strength requirement for heavy armor, but I think just as a regular proficiency, you only get up to medium. I think. It's been a minute since I fucked with dwarves, but it's one of the things
they're
that makes
expensive.
you gotta get them so fucking drunk. That ain't easy. Good news is they're hairy on both ends. You can't tell the difference.
Speed is not reduced by wearing heavy armor for dwarves.
What's that?
Their speed is not reduced by wearing heavy armor.
Right. I thought there was a restriction where they ignored the strength requirement.
No, they don't have. It doesn't list any proficiency for them as far as.
Did you
like-
check Hill and Mountain? Part of me wants to say that
looking
one
at
of those
them.
has it.
Okay, yeah. Mountain has the proficiency with light and medium. Okay.
There you go. Got it. I was pretty sure, but I couldn't remember for certain. Okay.
And I know we've had some trouble identifying the Snurf Neblin apart, roughly. Would I be able to identify some of the other scouts since we've worked with them a little bit more? And I have found out that I like them.
There's a very distinct difference in the way that their clothing is. As a general rule, they all wear like a form of tunic. It's like a sleeveless tunic with like pauldrons on the top. And for the most part, the pauldrons on most of the Swiftneblin appear to your dark vision, it almost looks as if they're molded in different ways. And when I say molded, I don't mean formed. I mean like actually mold. That has grown across the pauldrons in varying patterns. Some of the Swiftneblin, however, appear to have some sort of an actual dye that shows up as jet black in your dark vision in different patterns on the pauldrons. That looks much more official.
Okay.
And those ones, the scouts, you could recognize as an almost wave-like pattern going horizontal, like going from like shoulder to neck, like in a wavy pattern. And the chieftain himself, his whole entire pauldron itself appears to be colored black. Several of the elders that you had seen him talking to earlier, theirs look almost entirely black with the edge, the very edge of the pauldron itself, a shock white.
Okay. Did you build that yourself, or did you? Very neat. I like it, reminiscent of the like petri dish art.
Kind of.
So different like pathogens and stuff, they grow in different patterns and colors. So you can actually like, if I know like Pseudomonas is like pinky orange, and I know like Strep is green, and I can like lay it out in a petri dish and it'll grow out.
Like a little prime bacteria.
I don't think that has
You
the
might
effect
have
that
to
you're
use
that you're hoping for.
seaweed. I mean, I'm sure.
I mean, that could be taken really badly,
I
like
know.
especially if it's like all made out of STIs. That's like, oh, that's a dog shit like idea of a pride flag made out of STIs.
I just want to see the color.
That's like, that's cringe.
What's wrong with
people
you
actually
Super
guys?
they
cringe.
do art competitions. So like people in medicine like actually like some of them like Van Gogh.
So,
They-
like
they do
colors
art.
like that, I really want.
They do art competitions. No, you didn't know this smells like. I mean, some of it was literal shit. Like,
Very cool ideas.
It's fucking beautiful. Oh, shit.
So,
I just want to see like all the
picture
colors.
similar in a way to that for like most of like the family portraits.
yeah, that's how I took it.
The ones for like all of the official people, the chieftain, the scouts, the elders. It's more of an intentional, like these were put here for a reason, kind of thing. Yeah. So
Yes.
all right.
Fix them up, please. It's fucking freezing.
It's not even freezing in here. It's barely fucking cool.
I have very terrible cold problems.
Well,
I have one hell of a heat tolerance now.
ugh. Ugh. It's like I can only smell you.
Easy.
I can only picture you just like at work smelling like cooked hot dog, like hot dog water.
So
I
I
sweat
have a
so much
question.
my body
And it's been
odor
bothering me all
overpowers
night.
it. Like even with deodorant on.
When like in particular when I was working like down in the Keys on a regular basis, and it was so hot down there that you're sweating from like morning till night. Like you literally sweat out so much oil and like everything out of your body. Like it has no scent anymore at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You literally don't even smell like anything.
Yeah.
The only reason I smell at the end of the night is because it soaks in my shirt.
Well,
That's
yeah.
the only thing.
So I have a question.
Mhm.
Do you still have the chain on your glasses because they keep falling off when you're in the dish pit? You don't like getting them dirty?
Because I sweat so much, my face gets so
Yeah,
wet that
yeah,
they
yeah,
just
yeah.
slide off.
Yeah.
Like they fit perfectly when I'm dry.
It's not hurting anyone.
No, I'm just curious. I didn't say it was hurting anybody.
Yeah.
I was just curious. God, the only way to know.
Well, aside from everything else, like I get the sentiment of keeping it on there 24/7 because
Yeah, no, I get it.
otherwise,
As
like,
soon as you take
it
it out,
would-
forget about it.
No,
well, not even just
Or
that.
you'll
Like,
lose
I
it
would want to
or-
get used to it because, like, when
That's why.
like getting used to this was an absolute fucking nightmare. Like the feel on my skin was an absolute fucking nightmare.
That's
So
why
then I would just wear it all the time, like 24/7, and I wouldn't have to worry about it anymore.
That's
Yeah,
why
no,
have
I
these
get
on
it,
right
but
now.
like it's like for me, it's the curiosity of like I
Yeah.
want to know if the reason why I thought it was right, or if it was a different reason.
That's why
Yeah.
I
You
asked
just
things
wanted
so
to know
much
if you
too.
were right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, makes
I'm the
sense.
same way. Oh, it's fucking useful as hell too. Like how I do it at work, I take it and I put it in the back of my hat so it like stays tight. So nice.
Yeah.
I have a bump right here because of how much they've been sliding down during work.
Right.
God, it's fucking terrible.
All right. So, what are you guys doing?
Doodling.
Okay.
Meditating.
So the first, how many total did you have that you wanted to do?
I definitely had it's 6 total. I got worked out for
Right,
the last 2.
The last two, the river view and the cityscape, are the hard ones that are going to be to do.
Yeah,
the other 4, let's do them in order that you wrote them. The homes. Give me a sleight of hand check.
Mod.
Okay. Incredibly well. Your practice has been paying off. Even with looking at them through dark vision, it seems far more fitting to draw these in grayscale. They don't seem like color would do justice. And that one comes out incredibly well.
Next one's a fumble and it looks like a chicken breast.
Next one in line.
Meeting hall.
This is the one that is broken. You're trying to recreate the original.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, same thing.
Same thing.
Trying to call to mind what it looked like from memory, is incredibly difficult. You weren't paying a ton of attention at the time. However, putting pencil to paper, anybody who had seen it before it was broken could tell that there are certain parts that you artistically left in shadow. But nobody could tell that you didn't remember what it looked like. Because though you left the parts that you couldn't remember in shadow, it's very well done.
The graves. Karen's.
Are you doing a side view, or are you trying to get up on top of one of the intact buildings that's nearby
I
and
want
try to do
get like so where they just put them in layers, so maybe just do like a snippet so you can't really see like the disturbed ones.
Mhm.
I'm gonna try and like kind of tighten it where I would get maybe like 2 or 3, even if not in full, but pieces.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead and roll.
26 mod.
26. There's not a lot here in this picture. The large majority of it's in darkness. But you seem to be able to capture far more emotion in what little you do put on paper and imply a lot by where you leave it dark. Very good drawing.
The elementals, my goal is to try, as they move around, I want to try and get shape and movement from all 3 and kind of combine them to like a 3-piece study. It might not be 3 full ones, maybe like we have one carrying something, one bending, that sort of thing. Some variation of the 3 in pieces.
Okay, go ahead and roll for it.
Yeah. 14.
14. It's difficult to really catch the emotion behind the story behind them like you had wanted to. You have at one corner of your drawing a picture of one of them at rest in that same posture that you had first met one before it stood up. And that one's really good. But trying to capture the movement of these things, it defies the ability to do it justice. It's decent, and anybody looking would know what you drew, but it just doesn't quite have that same impact that your other drawings have.
Anyone else? Projects?
I'm gonna be spending my time like learning how to do the magic created.
Okay.
To create my own.
Okay. As of right now, it's just some preliminary tooling around with things, trying to like maybe test some stuff out, see what works.
Yeah.
You don't have any official training yet. You don't have any you don't have a book to guide you. So right now it's just some simple toolings around.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to get some sort of official training, even if it's a crash course at like a college.
Yeah.
Or some sort of in-depth book that shows you a little bit better how to craft it officially. But it's not a problem to go ahead and at least get your toes wet. Start
just a couple hours and do it.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then the rest of the time I'm just gonna be pumping spells into the lore stuff until I can get it almost full at this point.
I would think that you'd be able to get it full, but I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, like I can get 45 gold. I think
I think that you've got a couple more than that total.
Yeah, I do.
I could be wrong, but part of me wants to say that you have a couple more than that total. So it's going to be a matter of which ones do you want, which ones don't you. So just keep a list of them.
Yeah, no. I already know the two, the fourth and the third that are in there. So that's 7, and I had 16 levels planned out for it.
Mhm.
And so over the next 3 days we have left.
Yeah, if you don't have anything else you want to do.
I mean, why the fuck not? Honestly, like use the lore stone to my fullest advantage at this point. Like now that I know what I can do. So yeah, so 16, 7, that's 23, 45 it can hold. So 22, I only need 22 more hours into it.
Alright.
That takes up 2 days. Third day I can do something else.
Okay. So no other trips you want to make?
Nope.
Yato doesn't really have idle stuff to do, so he's just going to be sitting next to lake, meditating, and playing his flute.
Okay.
How many days would you say it took for the drawings?
As an actual artist, that's quite the question.
I'd say probably the better part of a day and a half, 2 days.
Try and reduce.
So, fast forward till T minus 2 days.
Mhm.
The chieftain meets you guys the morning of the. This would be
4.
nighttime of the 8th day.
Oh,
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure we're not skipping too much time for anybody.
Would that be? I thought they were gonna leave before. Like they're gonna. It took them 5 days to get ready, so that would leave us 3 days instead of 2 days. So it'd be the end of the 7th.
that's a good point.
It depends on what you guys want, because they had mentioned it was going to take them 5 days to get ready to
And on the
move.
6th day, they're gonna leave. Is that it?
They could leave on the 6th day. They could leave on the 7th day.
Okay.
It
okay.
depends on how everything was going to
That
go.
was my
So I wasn't
interpretation.
sure what your plan had been. That's why I tried to say I'm not skipping too much time for you guys.
Right.
I think
So it would be night of the 7th.
Maybe night of the 7th.
Probably a good idea.
Well, because
So
we
you would
had
then one
10
day
days.
first.
We had 2 days
Then
to hike out. 2
1,
days
2.
For the
Yeah, so that's 3 days.
Day out, day in. So that's
so
3.
rest day, and then 2 days.
It would've been yeah, so it would have been 6 days before they were done. Like end of the 5th day, they would have basically been done with their. No, end of the 6th day, they would have been done with their preparations.
Nice.
Then the 7th day, like morning of the 7th day, they can be ready to move out.
Okay,
If
so
that's
and
the
then-
game plan of everybody.
yes,
Mhm.
yeah, that works.
Okay, so end of the 6th day, the chieftain approaches you all. In the morning, we plan to move out. Is there anything you need before we leave?
Do you have any spare arrows?
Can you raise your voice, please?
Do you have any spare arrows?
We are not really a bow-using people. We generally prefer thrown weapons, such as spears and stones.
I should have think of that.
Is there anything you needed?
You're leaving in the morning?
That is the plan.
Alright.
I can be ready to leave in the morning.
We do not necessarily need you to come with us.
Okay.
You need me to open the portal.
We will be fine camped by the portal until you arrive.
Okay. Any spare rope you might have, as well as we need things to make a lot of noise, as if the village was still occupied. We need to draw the worm here somehow. That's possible, but I'd rather not take the chance. That
Worm itself will not come in this area. The lake itself makes it difficult and floods its tunnels.
the rain,
What's that?
the rain room.
The rain room is... I assume that it will go back there again now that it knows that we had been using that area. We mined there in particular because it avoided the area.
But now that it comes back to that area,
Now that it knows that we were there, it would most likely come back to that area.
and if that's the case, then that's where we need to be focusing. Yeah. So we'll go with them up to there and try to set as much as we possibly can to try to create as much noise, vibrations through the earth.
I only ask that you allow us enough of a head start.
Of course.
Of course.
You have more than 24 hours.
It will take a day and a half for us to get to the portal.
Okay.
Easily done. That still gives us 2-3 days here before we have to move on from the necromancer. And then from there we're used to roughing it. So we'll be fine for whatever we need to do for worm. You have rations enough to last you a few days time?
We have rations enough to last us for a couple months.
Oh, okay. Hopefully it won't be that long. We can grant you a few days.
If it takes that long.
We are planning ahead as well. We do not plan on staying in place when we get to where you are sending us. We will be moving on.
Oh, there goes our armies right there.
Oh no.
Granted, we'll still have room for you to rest while you make final plans.
Yeah, no, I have nothing. We're good. I'm good. Yeah, no.
Thank you for everything.
See you.
Now he backs out. Walks away. So,
When they move out, I got dibs on a house.
what's that?
So when they move out, I've got dibs on a house.
You put the child into?
Sure, whatever. I'm not picky.
Oh, so close.
At least you actually hit the trash can.
Oh, come on! No, I was gonna go in!
You still hit the trash can.
Well, you thought about throwing the full one, huh? That one I did on purpose.
I feel like we finish this as quick as possible so I can check.
Fine. Fine. Anyway. Okay, so that sets in motion.
33.
Sprickneblin will be leaving in the morning, heading on their way towards the portal. And what are your plans?
Moving to a house.
Yeah, I guess we'll move into one of the houses. And... I'm not splitting the party. We're not splitting the party. We are not splitting the party.
They're not like 50 feet apart. They might be 50 feet apart. I don't know. My different places like I can't go one place without y'all damn assholes. What? We're all in the same area. We can hear each other.
Okay, then I guess we'll just each get an adjacent house.
That's fine.
There's an area over by where the 3 storage buildings are, where there is one still intact original house and 2 rebuilt houses, all in close proximity to each other.
My door says no spellcasters allowed.
Y'all still can go in.
No bonuses allowed.
Technically, your amulet allows you to cast a spell.
I'm going to scribble on the door frame roughly something about 4.5 feet tall. You must be this tall to ride this ride.
Like, so if I leave the staff outside.
Okay.
Just in
It's just like, at least you need to stay in the car.
Daddy's just gonna be gone for a second, sweetie.
God damn it. I've got.
She's older than all of you, so.
She's not
So
older.
she can come.
Oh,
with
well,
us.
yeah, at least.
Technically.
I thought you were talking about her.
Yeah.
I'm just like, there's no fucking way she's older than me.
How old is she?
Your character, there's no way your character.
Your character's not that old. Just because you're from an age before she got into staff.
No, she's actually lived through the ages. You just
She
Yeah, I know.
she actually experienced them.
I'm skipped and jumped
You
your
did
way
not.
to fucking SSI, man.
Just wake up one morning. Retirement. Oh yeah.
All right. This is like right after your first day of work. It's like, okay, I'm gonna skip 200 years of life for now.
So you said the inside
Literally
of the
first day.
structures had a little bit more of
Literally.
a unique.
Correct.
So I would like to sketch that.
You chose the intact one. Good choice, because the other ones it's really hard to see a lot of the decoration because they're all a mishmash. Inside this one in particular, you can see that the center of the hut is dipped down almost 2 feet with a raised lip around the outer edge. And in the middle are several what would look like bumps, like 8-inch tall bumps, about 4 of them set all the way around the center focal point of the floor. On the walls are what look to be stone shelving held up with pegs that would be wood, but you recognize them as that same fibrous mushroom material that you had seen them making baskets out of, that hold these stone shelves up all the way around. And inside of this house is small designs on everything. On the walls themselves, there are large stripes of geometric patterns, followed by thinner, almost 6-inch thick designs of. There are, in this house in particular, it appears to be some sort of underground fish.
Underground?
Like in cave creatures.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like cave type fish.
Mhm.
And they are of forms that you've never seen before. But being a very ranger-like rogue, you get the gist of the body shapes on a lot of these.
Mhm.
There are some of them that are underground predators. There are some of them that are scavengers that are eyeless and look to skim the bottom. But the whole entire central 6-inch strip
Mhm.
between the large geometric design below and the large geometric design above is almost as if you took an underground lake and put it sideways, and you can see the different levels at which the fish themselves are surviving. And it's almost as if like you're watching like a video game, like a two-dimensional video game, like a 2D game, where like you see all of the different things at different levels.
Mhm.
There's a lot of knowledge to be gained here as far as like the different types of fish and where they live, and you can see some of what they're eating because some are eating other fish, some are mopping up stuff off the floor of the lake, and it's not incredibly detailed. Like it's not really good carvings,
Mhm.
but there's so much here. There's just a ton of information. Whoever did this had a tremendous amount of knowledge about the underwater life in this area.
Okay.
I counted out the absolute number of spells and
Mhm.
their converted costs. I do exactly have 45. I went ahead and sent you the list.
Oh,
Just
cool.
goes down from first to fourth.
Cool.
Just to make sure that now that it's completely filled, and then I can go ahead and be like, okay, cool, that part's done.
Right.
I've got 3 papers, alternate spell sheets in the 3.5 version.
Right.
Looks like the 3.5 version that I'll be using for my spell sheet.
Gotcha. No problem. And make it easier too, because now that like once it's full, you can just be like, I'm swapping this for this.
Yeah.
I'm swapping this for this.
Yeah.
Mhm. No problem.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm just gonna check out the storage rooms, see if they left anything behind that could be useful.
There's quite a bit in the storage rooms, actually. There's a lot of stuff that they just simply couldn't take with them. Not much as far as food goes. What you do find are a number of mushrooms and what look to be like root vegetables that they're not bad, but they're probably going bad. That would be one of the reasons why they would have all been left behind, to make room for more, like for some of the fresher stuff. There's a ton of rope. There's a ton of like wooden tools. There's quite a few pickaxes, hammers. All of them look generic. Like they don't necessarily look like they were particularly special to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
All very well used, well taken care of, but they all look to be very generic. There's a number of wheelbarrows that are like tilted up on their sides that line, each storage room has a number of them in there. Some what look to be like fibrous type sacks made out of that same mushroom material, though instead of cut into strips like reeds, almost as if the fibers themselves had been pulled apart and then woven back together in what would look like a coarse version of burlap.
George, do you have anything that can make multiple objects move at once?
George doesn't. Does not.
Oh, fuck.
Actually,
Well, if you guys find useful stuff that you need to carry, let me know. You can shove it in the bag. I'm gonna be in here.
A bunch of pickaxes and hammers, we could make a lot of noise with them.
I mean, yeah, hypothetically speaking, but like, I'm gonna be real with you. I can make a floating disc appear in like 11 minutes, but after like, how long does Tensor's floating disc last? Not long at all. An hour. Yeah. No. I'd have to like spend 11 minutes to recast it, and even then.
I wasn't sure if like servants or anything like that.
Unseen Servant, but it doesn't last. Again, it doesn't last very long.
Okay.
So for like, technically it's a first level spell. So like first level spells don't last very long. Period.
Okay.
It is a spell. That's not the way Dothamar could describe it because spell levels aren't a thing. Yeah. So
the amount of power, the amount of
Those earlier abilities.
it's definitely one of the first skills I would have mastered, not a more recent skill.
Okay. So yeah, nothing that big.
Yeah.
While you guys are getting used to, I'm gonna be drawing.
But I am gonna go and try to find just a bit of dried carrot for spell component.
Yeah, I should draw
Okay.
carrot.
There's a
Or
number
dried
of
carrots.
there's definitely a number of root vegetables that were left behind. Some of which look like turnips, carrots. It's hard to tell. These are all different versions of it, but you see at least 3 different ones that look like they would probably do well as a stand-in for what would be considered a carrot.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay.
Are they dried or
It's
dried?
spell components like that are a concept. It's this type of vegetable, so it doesn't have to
Got it.
specifically be carrots.
Gotcha. Okay. Would it be reasonable to assume that I would have a feather or a piece of down?
Your quill.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
never mind. I've got quills.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're not pulling apart my fucking pillow.
Mm-hmm. It's fairly safe to assume that you probably because you would keep at least a couple of them,
Mm-hmm.
and probably at least one of them's probably gone bad by this point.
Yeah.
You would probably use it right up until it was near useless, and then you would set it aside to be used for things that were unimportant, like when you were writing notes back and forth.
Yeah.
And keep your good quills for when you're scribing spells and shit like that.
Yeah.
If you
So.
see him reaching for your arrows, don't let him. Don't fuck them.
Don't let him near
One. I
any
just
of
need
your
one.
arrows.
Hey, hypothetically, it could help y'all.
Hypothetically, as he starts grabbing
The house that I'm
handfuls
in, are there any
blindly,
pillows?
he's desperate.
No.
Damn it.
It's coming
You
for
haven't
us.
seen a single
I don't have a spell
pillow
yet, y'all.
in this whole entire place.
I'm definitely taking out my pillow and laying on it then.
But I say I don't love your pillows on your vest, on your anything.
Oh, yeah, tensors last for 1 hour.
Yeah.
Not concentration though.
Yeah, yeah, I thought that was weird too, but
Seems strange to me.
but I mean, I guess.
I'm not
What's the
gonna,
weight limit on it? 500?
pretty decent.
Yeah, it's like a fucking lot.
How high up can you move it?
Yeah, you don't do that. You move, it moves. That's how it works.
Damn.
So when it
I
runs
was
out
gonna-
in an hour,
Yeah, whatever you're carrying
This
on
spell
it.
creates a circular horizontal plane of force, 3 feet in diameter, 1 inch thick, that floats 3 feet above the ground in unoccupied space of your choice that you can see within range. Disc remains for the duration, can hold up to 500 pounds. More weight is placed on it, the spell ends, and everything in the disc falls to the ground. Disc is
Jesus
immobile while
freaking
you are
Christ,
within
man.
20 feet of it. If you move more than 20 feet from it, the disc follows you, so that it remains within 20 feet of you. It can move across uneven terrain, up or down stairs, slopes, the like, but it can't cross an elevation change of 10
He's having
feet
a
or
good
more.
day, I guess.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if you could move it up a whole bunch, that'd be an amazing vantage point.
Yeah, that's why they limit that spell.
Yeah.
Right. But I also here's another thing is that I can cast fly.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There's the kicker. We don't need a disc. I can just cast fly on you, and you can carry her up wherever y'all need to go. We need to go.
Fuck?
What?
Okay.
I carry you so you can shoot.
Yeah, you
Or I
probably got-
can ride a flying mount and.
That's
shoot on
true.
my
Yeah.
own.
No. So I cast fly on you and I, and then we follow her wherever we're going.
But wherever would you get a flying mount from?
I know. I can't choose if I want to learn animal handling or get a flying mount first.
Don't you have both?
I don't know, do I?
Yeah, we saw you ride a bird. And we saw
What
you
a
handle
sad
the
day that
fucking
was.
lizard. We saw you do that. It wasn't.
We
You're-
had a perfectly good drinking bet.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Or and I just wanted a nice vacation. We can't have nice things.
You just happened to choose the day when shit fucking hit the fan.
Did
That's
we? Did
Yeah,
we?
Actually.
Did we? As long as I feel like you're just waiting for an opportunity, you're like, oh, they're in the sky. pulls sheet out of binder.
oh,
Today's the day.
you guys are gonna fly? What was your AC?
Yeah, you were flying towards the fucking ground.
Is it still flying if you're falling?
If the bird's still flapping,
No. Because hold on a second. Does that mean that when I fall and I flap my arms?
It's just extreme flying.
It's just extreme flying. Kamikaze.
They were still flying.
Like extreme flying. It's extreme flying right up until you hit the ground, in which case it's failed flying.
No, then you yell parkour.
Oh, yeah, parkour.
No, cool.
As long as you right before you hit the ground. Okay, if the eagle bursts into flames, like, that's on us. We deserve it.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. You didn't chug your Mountain Dew fast enough.
I think, Jesse, your taxi's back to pick you up. I was making a joke.
Oh,
Something's here.
Yeah, right?
is it?
You didn't
Who's
order
here?
the pizza, did you?
No.
I hope not.
It's open. Does it look round headlights?
Yeah, is there round headlights?
Is
Did
it
Mark,
round?
did Mark hear us talking shit and he decided to...
Maybe. Is it round headlights?
Can you see how many people are watching?
Before I have to take a cyanide pill, you want to tell me what's up?
Actually, hold on a second. I can tell you if...
No, they came down here and they turned back around.
Oh, fuck them.
Took him a second.
Well, not everybody can fucking drive.
And to be fair, we do kind of block a lot of the areas. We don't make it very
That is
easy
true.
to. Like,
True. Yeah.
someone's like, "Yeah, this is a simple route. I'll turn around at the end." What the fuck?
Well, for some reason, also, instead of pulling into the driveway to turn around and then backing, they for some reason turned towards the canal side and then backed.
We're just gonna say it's
So
because
they
surprised
turned towards the
them.
canal side, backed a little bit into the driveway before finally going that way. It seemed like the much harder way to do it.
Yeah, no. Well,
It is Okeechobee.
you don't drive onto someone's property without the fear of getting shot here.
Well, I do.
I do.
I
I
know
don't give
you-
a fuck.
Okay. Most people...
I'll pull right in your fucking driveway. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, no.
What are you gonna do? Fucking shoot at me
I'm
just
a
because I
white
pulled in your
female,
driveway?
so if
Yeah,
they shoot me,
fuck
like,
When
off.
I was coming over to your house that one day when I was first
now
getting
Jupiter
there.
Farms, certain parts of Jupiter Farms, yeah. Then I'm like,
No.
No, you
Not
go
his
you go
area.
far enough back into
but you're
Jupiter
not your
Farms.
area.
That shit's fucking goddamn bayou. Like
Yeah,
you
I
don't know if you're coming
Trust
back
me,
out of there.
Trust me, I did campaign door-to-door cold knocks in
Uh-huh.
Jupiter Farms.
Good
Trust me,
God.
I know.
I accidentally
Are you
pulled
serious? Yeah.
all the way into the driveway of the
Andrew
people right
Dillon
next
and
to
Bernie
y'all with the
Sanders.
RV.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And then
yeah,
I was just like, something's not right here. I was like, oh no.
I have no knowledge of this place.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I got the fuck out of there real quick.
I don't have much contact with that guy, but he seems decent. The
Oh,
guy
yeah.
on the other side
They
is a
didn't do
fucking
any
douchebag.
shit to us anytime we were over there, so
Yeah. The guy on the other side is the one who's a douchebag.
Oh yeah?
He's still friends with Mike.
Oh.
Perfect. So we
Good
can
to
just
know.
put signs facing his property from Elizabeth's property.
Pretty much. Yeah. So, anyway. So,
I just haven't seen anyone make those hand motions at the table for a while. I was a little concerned for a second. I was having trauma responses to Cody.
look, some people, when they're having nicotine addiction, they drink. Some other people, they get angry. Other people,
Could be both, like an angry jerk.
Well, I'm rolling dice. No.
And he's not having nicotine withdrawals anymore. I've seen him take at least 3 puffs.
Hey.
It should be okay by now.
hey, shit happens.
Yeah.
You got whatever you gotta do to fucking keep yourself fucking straight. I ain't fucking.
What James is saying is he doesn't care what addictions you have as long as it keeps you playing.
You know? I can respect that. No. All right. Is your phone charged?
Probably.
No. What you got it at?
94.
Oh,
You're
Oh,
fine.
come on.
turn it on.
Please.
I
No,
said
you-
no because the light was still red.
Okay.
Fucking charge the rest of that up by masturbating. Come on.
Probably.
That'll be the day. We can just do kinetic energy.
Yo,
I'm cool with it.
I'm not. Fuck that. Get the fuck out.
Look, I'm not,
Well,
saying, I'm not saying at the table.
Look, if I can save the planet by jacking off my phone, I'll do it. All right, I'll fucking do it.
Alrighty then. Alrighty.
What am I gonna do? Whack a guy? Off a guy? Whack off a guy? Because I can't. Because I'm married.
What is that from?
Family Guy. That was the Family Guy episode where he met the mob
Big
boss
Fat
guy,
Polly.
Big Fat Polly.
Yeah.
Yep.
God damn. See, I turn on Family Guy because it's nonsensical and I can fall asleep to it easily.
No.
Like I get like 2 minutes into watching it and then I'm fucking out.
No. I
The
get
early days, man. The early days of watching Family Guy were so good.
Yeah, no,
The
early
humor-
seasons-
The quality of the humor, I don't necessarily think has changed drastically since then, but I don't find a lot of it as funny as I did when like the first like 6 seasons, all the way up to the 12th season I watched. But like the first 6 seasons were just, I mean, I laughed so damn hard at those shows.
Yeah,
Ugh.
it's always been funny, you know, and it's just like I noticed it was a distinct change in humor when they got when they were renewed, when they after they had been canceled, they finally came back.
Yeah.
Like there was a distinct change in humor.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, our style was better, obviously.
Yeah.
Everything was cleaner, but still, it was
Yeah.
so different. And like the first few episodes, it was just like you kind of get a little bit of that old Family Guy feel, but then it just
Now, don't get me wrong. Once in a while, they really they'll revive that old feel when they really hit like some of the hard hitting episodes.
yeah.
Yeah, they can really kind of recapture it a little bit to a certain extent, but overall,
Yeah.
just haven't really been into it in a while.
I really truly liked the episode where like Diane Simmons was convicted of murdering all those people.
I don't think I remember that one.
One of the newscasters, the female newscaster.
Mhm.
You know, that's whenever the show
blonde.
went from being that little screen and just finally widened out and filled the rest of your screen. When everyone got invited out to the hotel for James Woods.
I do remember that one. I don't remember. I don't think I was reliably watching the episodes at that point, but I do remember watching that one. That was like basically the murder mystery one, right?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
murder mystery
okay.
one.
Yeah. That one was pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. So, what is your
So we've got roughly about 3 days at least.
at this point you're
Yeah,
looking
day
at probably like
7,
2.5
day
days.
7, day 8.
The
Yeah,
next
all
one,
of day 8, all of day 9, and then day 10 at some point is when he's going to send the storm. He didn't specify exactly what time on day 10, but
Yeah.
it could be any time.
Yeah. I
Three
assume
spots
he
on.
doesn't sleep. I have no evidence to back that up. I'm just gonna make the assumption.
I think we all made that assumption.
My voice. So
I think we all made that assumption. Like, no one ever talked about like zombies sleeping.
well, they go inactive during the day
Why would they go inactive during the day?
because they're usually hiding.
Zombies?
Yeah, you hide zombies under, in like crypts or caves or something. Get them out of the way, out of the direct sunlight.
Otherwise, they catch on fire.
I feel like you're talking about like there's an actual zombie in the game that I'm not familiar with, and not like just in general zombie.
We're not talking about zombie movies. We're talking about magic zombies. in
See,
D&D.
I didn't know there were magic zombies, and I learned something. He's talking to me like I'm supposed to know what fucking. I was talking about like Night of the Living Dead, or
Oh, definitely
Walking
not.
Dead, or
28 days later.
Living Dead Girl, like stupid bullshit. And
I'm talking about the spells.
apparently, there's a spell that makes you a zombie. Good to know.
Oh,
There's a couple.
One
there's
more
a
reason
few.
why we should just kill all spellcasters.
There,
Besides ours.
there's one very specifically that kills you and raises you as a zombie.
Yeah. Oh, I like that one a lot.
What the fuck?
Different.
That's different.
Yep.
Great.
Which one was that again?
Finger of death.
That's right. You know,
I mean, I saw
you
just had
think
that a
you'd be
few
fucking
times.
with
It
that?
doesn't really, it doesn't work the way y'all think it does.
Finger of death.
She's just playing dead to get you to stop.
I thought that was when you tried the 6-pack.
No, if you go for do the Spock, it's like takes a screenshot.
Ah, damn it.
Yeah, you gotta pull that
Always the
information out
problem.
there.
Always the problem.
Bowling ball versus Spock. You gotta remember.
Gotcha.
Yeah. 7th level spell.
Oh
Yeah, no. The creature takes 7d8 plus 30 necrotic damage. It makes a con save throw for half damage. If it's killed by the spell, it's raised at the start of your next turn as a zombie permanently under your control.
This is why we have separate fucking houses.
Wow, I don't have stuff about spells.
I didn't say because I thought you did. You just tried to keep talking about it.
I originally,
fair
as
enough.
James,
So
I
he's
originally
like
wanted to make a
Jehovah's Witness
necromancer.
talking to
Yeah,
me
he did,
as
actually.
I'm like closing the door. I just hear him mumbling something about fire and spell slots, and the door just.
It's just like, hey, if I were to make armor for your corpse, like what sizes would I go for?
All right. So, is there any planning you all need to do?
Not really, no. I'm good.
What happened with R? Did we just like walk off with them?
Yeah. He's just
Okay.
kind of like,
You followed the cheese.
I'll be back, guys.
You followed the beer and the cheese. Got it.
Pretty much.
I'm telling you, like Daniel and R, you could lead them off with cubes of cheese. It's like ET with Skittles.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Ooh,
Ooh, piece of candy.
James, what? God damn it. Caught him twice.
I thought it was more than that, honestly.
What?
I thought for
Are
sure it was
people
more than that at
baiting
least.
R with candy? Then I missed
No.
it. I haven't missed that many sessions. Like, hold on, what?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, no. Let's go with that
If you
here.
guys are letting people bait R off with candy, like that's why he's a sad. He's been molested.
Not
every fucking
candy,
time.
beer and cheese.
Beer and cheese. Were you not? I'm cool with that. We're sticking with that narrative.
It's just a tray of beer and cheese on a fishing pole,
He just
Yeah, no.
very
Just
nice,
like-
shiny metal.
like the
Butler
like the sterling silver
The
like
serving
platter,
tray.
serving platter. Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
Just-
they had Stein on there. Yeah, no.
Frosted mug.
Fuck yeah. See, now I kind of want one.
Damn it.
He said I was good until you said
all the
frosted
alcohol
mug, and I was just
twitch
like,
a
I
little.
was
I'm
like,
like, no.
I was like,
Found the trigger word. Great.
All right.
So I then would want to spend a couple of days doing like a general room study, taking down a couple of the geometric patterns. If I could do some of the fish studies. If I start running out of time or getting really shitty with the fish studies, I might just they're carved on or they're painted on.
Carved.
Then I would do some rubbings.
Engraved. Yeah.
Then I would do some
Specifically.
rubbings. If I feel like maybe I'm having trouble or I'm running out of time, I might do rubbings to study later.
Okay.
And if I have extra time, I would like to go back and try and redo that elemental study. So
The elemental study is going to be a hard one at this
Yeah.
point, so you don't have the actual elementals to really
which is fair.
do anything with.
So those would be my goals roughly.
Okay. Easy enough. The geometric patterns are easy enough to take down as far as like because it's a repeating pattern, so it's a matter of taking a section.
Yeah, like when you start to kind of see it.
Yeah. The fish study in the one house in particular, we'll go ahead and we'll assume that you do a quick set of rubbings right off the bat,
Okay.
and then you go back and you start trying to like redo some of them. You make it not very far into the actual drawings before you're starting to run out of time, but you have the rubbings down, and that's something that you can definitely do later on.
Okay. And then a general room study.
Of this room or the other rooms, like the other houses.
The room I'll pick the house I'm staying in, the intact one.
Okay.
You know, the shelving, rough background pattern. Just kind of
Okay.
getting a feel for the room, maybe not quite as in detailed, more like a Van Gogh study than a.
Okay. No problem. Go ahead and roll a sleight of hand for that one.
Mod 24.
All right. Highly detailed. You weren't going for as artistic on this one, but you have not only captured the entire essence of the room, of everything that's in it, you also managed to do a quick, though fairly good job of the impression of the geometric shapes and the layer of engravings in between. Enough so that it's noticeable what it is.
Okay. How much time do I have left before like the sleep before the 10th day?
Probably about a half a day, give or take.
Okay, so we got time. I'll go. What are you guys up to? You're playing with.
Gatto's basically been playing his flute over by the water.
I have nothing to do in the meantime. Just meditate.
You don't have any skills you want to work on?
I don't know where I want to take him with his skills yet.
Okay, well, if you like archery, start fletching. Or weaving, so you get used to fibers, so you can learn how to make bowstrings.
Underwater basket weaving?
Yeah, you like blades, right? You hold this rock, take some mushroom fibers.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Not a whole lot of spells that pertain to raising the dead, but there's enough.
There's enough.
I'm doing it now to bother you.
You're playing with your spell book. Whatever.
Dance Macabre.
That's a great one. I fucking loved that one.
Dance Macabre's fun.
Yeah.
Anything left in supply area?
Nobody's really moved much of anything. There's a substantial amount of rope. Good, solid. What would be the equivalent to a hempen rope?
I'll make some rope.
All right. You could probably use it at this point. I think a lot of your guys' rope has been like cut up, cut around, shortened in certain ways. It's a pretty good idea to just like grab a whole new coil of 50 footers.
Yeah, that's why. Like, how many do you think I'm going to find in here?
Quite a few. I mean, there's literally like a pile, like at least a Smurf Devlin and a half high.
You need 5. Oh!
No, we're not keeping one around to use as a reference.
I'm thinking me 5 coils.
5 50 footers.
5 50 footers.
Okay. Because there's at least several of them that come in like pre-done 100-foot coils,
Oh, they have hundreds.
and there's a couple that come in 50 footers.
Can I do 3 and 3?
Sure. Keeping them in your bag of holding, I'm assuming. At some point, we're gonna have to do an audit on your bag of holding just to make sure we're not hitting weight limits.
Yeah. It's like 500.
But I don't remember. We'll check it out.
Like 500.
But I don't think you're quite close yet. But
No, 'cause we've
it's
done
a
the
good
math
idea
before when
as we're getting pretty close to like start trying to keep track of it.
I'll grab a thing of 50 foot as well.
But also why
Replacing your original 50 foot.
Same.
Yeah. The weight will come down again soon because we haven't really been back home in a while. Because usually if I get stuff cleaned, I leave it at home. So I have all evil pieces.
And though you're not carrying them on your person, the gold and platinum starts to add up in weight.
Yeah.
Like the
Well, that's
more
why we're
actual
working
like
on
raw coins you
Yeah.
have.
So we're working on the hiding places.
Yeah. Changing a lot of them over to gems would be a really good idea too.
Technically, even if each coin weighs like 1/10 of a pound,
That's a good point.
it's still shit.
Gems and jewelry are one of the things that a lot of like the races in Faerun use for like high dollar trading, because you can carry substantially more
And less.
wealth in less weight.
That's fair. We can do that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
That's fine.
But yeah. All right. So, anything else anybody wants to do?
I'm good.
Okay.
Restore rations, basic stuff.
Yeah. Everyone's got drinking water. Everyone's got food. Everyone's equipment is okay.
in order to use the spells from the mysterious spell book, I have to put them into my spell book.
Correct.
Okay, and I don't currently have the material, the magical paper necessary to create a new spell book, do I?
No.
No. I
Are
have
we,
150 gold.
are we doing what we usually do and meet at the tower for meals? Like everyone ends up eating together, whether we want to or not.
I'm not. I didn't hear what you
I'm not
said.
following.
As are we touching base with each other during the days, or are we just like
I think that'd be a safe bet.
still like meeting up for meals and whatever?
I guess, yeah. Safety numbers and all that good stuff.
Would I be able to grab the fibers and start messing around trying to make like bowstring or something?
Trying to make a
You
bowstring.
always take it with you to try later. You can't do it
Yeah.
now.
There's not a lot of materials left over from what they were doing as far as the baskets go, but there's enough. There's like a pile of the already pulled apart fibers. It looks like these were just simply ones that had been pulled apart and just didn't come off nicely. Certainly, I'll grab some of those, and you can kind of start messing around with it.
I have been trying to think of skills to give him, and that's actually perfect.
There you go.
Like the flushing and stuff would be good.
Again, same as always, it'll take time.
Mhm.
You won't necessarily get it at 9th level like you would have if you had started at the beginning of 8th level like she did with a lot of her stuff. But work on it through 9th level. By 10th level, you'll have a new crafting proficiency.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So, if we want to go ahead and fast forward to the night of the 9th day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have has Shadow done anything funky since we've been back?
Have you been keeping torches up? Have you been keeping
That's
campfires
what I
up?
was asking for
I'd
meeting
be
it for
walking
meals
around
and
with a
stuff.
torch.
At least at meals and things.
Well,
I see
no.
them. Otherwise, I don't plan on really seeing anyone. You would have to, because we don't really have.
Well, at any point during this, you could have
Yeah,
swapped back
that's what
over
I'm
to the
thinking.
dark vision.
I am. Gauntlets off, ring on.
Bracers off.
Yeah,
You're talking about?
bracers. I've been playing Skyrim, so Gauntlets is in my head. Finally got the platinum.
So, all right. So, dark vision, not walking around with a torch,
Mm.
you would not have noticed.
We are eventually gonna find out what's up with my shadow, right? Like,
Maybe. Who knows?
It sounds like you need to be sacrificed over to the universe.
I think it's safe to assume that, considering you had intended to at the end of the last session, that R had cast remove curse on you, which is why I wasn't really fucking with you. I only did the dolls the one time because it was too funny not to. But the curse has ended. You no longer see the dolls all over the place.
good.
So do you want to know how you got cursed, bud?
Yeah.
What are you messing with?
Yeah.
Some people say keep your hands to yourself, and then you start like going through curse magic items.
Probably good.
Keep touching yourself, you go blind.
Yeah.
What's that? I can't hear you. I'm over here.
Dad, I'm over here.
How do you keep doing that? You don't go blind.
Dad, I'm over here.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and fast forward to the night of the 9th day.
Mm-hmm.
Then we will go ahead and cut the session there.
Alrighty.
Okay.
And then we will catch back up when we have R. And
When we have R amongst us.
Correct. Because he would be walking back from.
Yeah, he would know roughly.
This Swerve Nebula.
As long as he doesn't get attacked on the way.
Right. Heaven forbid something like that
It's
happens.
not like the party splitter.
Like, what kind of DM would do something like that? That'd be terrible. Yeah, so we'll pick up not next week. Next week we'll do a interesting one shot.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll get you written stuff.
If
Yes, please.
we have to go into any kind of hole into the ground, okay, cool.
Always use protection. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
y'all are going first, and like I'm not going.
Why? What do you mean?
Oh.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. We're not doing any whole. Like, who said anything about whole? What are you? I'm
No,
not changing-
no. You
I'm
don't
not changing
like
the
you.
word.
Come on.
You weren't there at the
Meta
beginning
knowledge.
of that one shot. Yeah, that's metagaming. I'm cool with that.
Or the one shot.
Fuck that shit. If we're doing that again,
You might as well
I'm
have
metagaming the
1v1
whole
each
fucking
other.
thing.
What are you talking about?
I will metagame the whole thing. I'm letting you know now. No.
I'm well aware.
Okay.
That's why we're not doing that.
Okay. Fuck.
Okay.
We're doing something you have no idea.
All right. So if the wizard gets weird, we can just
Sorcerer.
sorcerer.
Yeah,
Okay, the
sorcerer
gets
gets
We
weird.
just all, we just everyone attack him. He still gets to see how the classes play, so it doesn't matter.
True.
Matters to me.
They'll get to see how they play against each other.
Yeah. Like,
So I got a question as far as my chosen spells go. Like,
What's that?
as far as my chosen spells go,
Uh-huh.
do they require a material component?
Yes.
Damn it.
They still require material components.
Bullshit.
Nope.
Bullshit.
No.
Yeah. Bullshit. I'm just saying is like because I could take raise dead.
what? You don't keep body parts on you? I do.
I said raise dead. I didn't say like okay. I was gonna take Rary's telepathic bond, but
Are you okay with using the right
that's a fucking great one to take.
Rare telepathic bond?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I could have grabbed it.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have because it didn't matter because I didn't make it that time. You only grab the ones I fucking make in the garbage can.
They didn't make it in the garbage can.
The one would have.
It's okay. They both
Three.
hit the trash can.
over at this time it has been 3 that would have made it in.
Yeah. Yes. So I would ask when you get as soon as you get a chance to. I need Dr. Mario's spell list.
I'm
please,
getting it. Yeah. I got caught up the
Can
other
you-
day.
with
the things.
And
Yep.
once we get off the plane of Earth, we are leveling up to 9, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so go ahead and make 9.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, no. I really want to take Rary's telepathic bond simply because it's going to help out all of us.
Mhm.
It lasts for an hour. I forge a telepathic link among up to 8 willing creatures of my choice within range. So we can like communicate telepathically as long as we share. No, we don't have to have a common language.
Nope.
They can extend to other planes, but it has no. It's over any distance.
Mhm.
So as long as we're on the same plane.
Basically, yeah,
How long does it last?
an hour. Yeah, no, I
It's definitely one of the nice preparatory spells to do before, like
Yeah.
when you know you're
That's a
about
good
to go into battle.
ambushy
What's
kind
the
of.
com-
You
what's the
people can be on
component,
2 different sides of the battlefield. And
Absolutely.
Sorry, I thought you
Coordinate.
would've.
no, that's fine.
It's one of the
decent eggshell
situations
from
that
2
makes
kinds
it
of
so
creatures.
much
Oh, so
easier
that's
to deal with, like at least limited splitting the party
Mhm.
without having to worry so much about like somebody getting literally
Totally
caught.
blindsided.
Yeah, absolutely. There comes a certain point where like there are abilities in D&D that allow you to split the party safely.
Yeah.
You just don't have them early on
Yeah.
by any stretch of the imagination.
That's fair. It's like
So-
a blob of freshmen versus like 2 groups of
Yeah.
2 or 3 seniors.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I
Um,
could take reincarnate. Hope y'all don't die.
Meat suits are meat suits. In my case, I got
If I
like
get
6.
reincarnated into something else, do I keep the wieners?
No.
Damn.
Unless that form has the wieners. If you get reincarnated into a Yuan-Ti, you would be able to keep them.
So
If it's not
for
a
that
Yuan-Ti, I'm just gonna kill
communication
myself and
spell,
reincarnate
does
again.
that like only you can communicate, like sending stone?
No,
like,
that's everyone who's connected is connected.
Telepathic link.
Great.
You can literally
can also-
communicate with each other.
Is it a conscious effort to communicate?
Yes.
Okay, so you can keep things private.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's not like it's not a hive mind.
Okay.
Hive mind would be a whole different thing.
Oh, yeah.
I just
No,
meant
well, then
like,
you-
okay, like we're all getting ambushed. Gato gets stabbed. Everyone just gets to listen to him like scream for an hour.
For 6 seconds.
I
How
mean,
long you last?
yeah, technically you would have to listen to him as long as the spell was in place. You get to choose what comes out of your mind. You don't necessarily get to choose what goes into your mind from other people.
Yeah, but I'm just like, odds are someone would make the conscious effort to try and sense.
Wow.
Yeah, come on. You know full well that he would make sure everybody heard him like
They're
dying.
gonna come help me, right?
Yeah. Hey guys, hey guys,
I'm on my
guys.
I'm on my second death saving throw. I don't know what that means yet. So.
Guys, I'm 2 seconds away from death.
That sounds like metagame knowledge. On a scale of 1 to 60, how far are you from death?
Yeah, I don't know who told you anything about death saving throws. Maybe a pigeon. Like,
A pigeon. Oh
yeah.
God. Alrighty.
Okay. All right, cool. So
We'll meet up next week for the one shot.
Yep.